Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention please to the Lamar Band as they play our school alma mater. Ladies and gentlemen, the student gift exchange now at the center of the field. The participants for Lamar, I don't have the Panther participants, but the Lamar participants, the JUCO officers are as follows: Michael Nguyen, Hayden Hadawi, Aneen El Sarif, Lauren Brown, Charlie Ferrari, Jenna Phillips, Helen Holtby, and Kennedy Levy. The student gift exchange in the center of the field. Someone from the cheerleaders want to take it? Come on. There you go. The color guard doesn't want it. Color guard, please proceed to the center of the field.
Hello football fans, and welcome to this edition of Lamar Viking Varsity Football Broadcast, brought to you by the Lamar Viking Football Booster Club. I'm Bill Frell. Along with me tonight is Ryan Barlow. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Bill?
Doing pretty well. I just had to pass off a phone call and caught me there kind of flat-footed anyway. Hey, it's a beautiful night for football here at Cravens Field in the north part of Arlington, Texas, on the campus of Lamar High School. Big game tonight. It's homecoming for the Vikings, the 47th homecoming from what I understand. And we are hosting the Paschal Panthers from over in Fort Worth, the only 6A high school in Fort Worth, I believe.
Yes, sir. Should be a good game.
It should be. And from what my understanding is, tonight, if, and I shouldn't say if, once the Vikings win, the playoff spot is locked, and so that's what they're playing for tonight. And then, of course, the last game of the season will be next week against Martin, and a victory there will just improve our standings going into the playoffs.
Exactly. The higher standings, the lower grade team you get for the playoffs. So you kind of want the easiest way to get through the playoffs.
Yeah, you definitely want to have the lowest ranked opponent from the other district. Of course, we'll be playing someone from District 3 since we're in District 4 of 6A football here. So I'm going to go over a little bit of stats from Paschal, our visiting team, and then I'll let you talk about a little bit about some of the Lamar Vikings stats. So far this season, Paschal has had a total of 859 yards. Now, I'm not going to steal all your thunder, Ryan, but just by comparison, Lamar has a total of 2,531 yards this season. So team rushing, the Paschal Panthers have rushed for 625 yards and only passed for 234. So we expect to see more of a ground attack from Paschal than through the air. They've kind of split some time between two different quarterbacks. Cooper Bates is one we expect to see more of tonight. He's thrown for 133 yards, 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and 32% completion rate. Elliott Titus has seen some time there behind the center, and he's thrown 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, 101 yards. The rushing leaders, these are the guys we're going to look at to be carrying the load for the Panthers on the ground. Cooper Bates, the quarterback, he's the leading rusher with 172 yards, averaging about 2.5 yards per carry on 67 tries. And then James Farley, not to be confused with Frawley, but he's had 50 rushes, carries, and he's had 125 yards, also averaging about 2.5 yards. The other 100-yard rusher for the season, Jimmy Strange, 116 yards. And then the receivers, no one's cracked the 100-yard mark yet for them this season total. Gianni Roberts has 99 yards on 10 receptions, 1 touchdown. Chase Bell has 1 touchdown, 32 yards on 2 receptions.
So it looks like more of a dual threat quarterback action with the rushing and then the throwing as well.
I think that's what we expect to see, what the Vikings have been preparing for this week. I talked to Coach DeLay on a weekly coaches show this week when we recorded that, and he said this is going to be a little bit different set than what the Vikings have seen this season so far. And in fact, he was saying we're not even practicing with a ball the first couple of days of practice. They were just going through the motions, learning the new set that they're going to see.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about some Lamar stats there, Ryan.
Well, so far through this season, team total is 2,531 yards so far of total offense. Rushing is 992, so almost 1,000 yards for the season. And then passing is 1,539 yards, so it's mainly a passing attack for Lamar right there. But our sophomore quarterback, Jack Dawson's 55% completion rate. He's thrown for 1,528 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Matthew Shaw has passed for 1. He's thrown 1 completion for 11 yards.
It was one of those strange halfback pass kind of things. So Matthew Shaw is 1 for 1.
Yeah.
He should retire now as a quarterback and have that 100 whatever quarterback rating. Go ahead, Ryan. Yeah.
Your rushing leaders are Michael Bradley with 96 yards, 96
Oh, 96
attempts.
carries, yeah. Ryan's reading my notes. Sorry about that.
Yeah, his chicken scratches. 416 yards total and 4.33 average with 3 touchdowns. So he's getting the lion's share of the load. Desmond Moultrie, 58 attempts, 242 yards, 4.17 average, and 2 touchdowns. Jack Dawson has scrambled a little bit for 65 attempts, 167 yards rushing at a 2.57 average and 1 touchdown.
And for a quarterback, he's done pretty good because, like you said, he's had to scramble a lot.
Exactly.
He's taken some sacks, so to be in the positive, he is a threat. He's a dual threat. He can run with the ball. So
yeah, he can scramble and squirm out of all that. Just get down the field and try to move the chains as much as possible, which is a big help. Jalen Jones got 9 attempts, 88 yards, 9.78 average, and 1 touchdown on the ground for him. It's pretty good because he's kind of a running back as a kid in Optimus football, turned into a wide receiver, and he's done really well receiving the ball, but he can actually run as well. And not too many people know about that.
yeah, we've seen him come in motion from that receiver spot and take a handoff across the in front of the quarterback.
He can get back there pretty quick. So James Douglas got 14 attempts, 54 yards, 3.86 average, and 2 touchdowns. Now for receptions, Trevon West gets the majority of the balls, 25 completions, 410 yards total, 16.4 yards per catch, which is really good. 4 touchdowns on that. Dayton Dubs, another great receiver, 23 catches, 346 yards. 15 yards is an average catch for him, which is really high up there. 2 touchdowns. Jalen Jones catching the ball, 32 receptions, 328 total yards, 10.3 per catch, and 4 touchdowns. Matthew Shaw, your dual threat right there, 23 catches, 254 yards total. 11 yards per reception.
And don't forget, he's 1 for 1 as a quarterback.
Exactly, with the 100% quarterback.
And he didn't throw it to himself. We need to make that clear.
Exactly. 1 touchdown. And then Michael Bradley's got 5 reception, 80 yards out of the backfield, 16 yards per reception, and 1 touchdown. Your scoring, Juan
Villegas, the kicker.
Yeah, he's got 4 field goals, 19 extra points, and 31 total points. Trevon West, 5 touchdowns, 30 points. Jalen Jones, 5 touchdowns, 30 yards. So they're splitting the ball up pretty. He's getting out there to cover all of his receivers. He's not just keying off on one person. He can key off on several different targets, and he's got a lot of threats to throw to.
Definitely so. We're going to go ahead and turn our mics down for a moment and turn up the ambient sound so you can hear the national anthem from out on the field.
The national anthem will be sung by the national.
Take on the Vikings here at Cravens.
Well, we just had a special treat, probably because it is homecoming. The Lamar Viking Madrigal Choir did the national anthem for us, along with the color guard from the ROTC program out there on the field with the American, the Texas, and the Lamar Viking flags. So once again, we are at Cravens Field on the north side of Arlington, Texas, on the campus of Lamar High School for the 6A varsity game tonight between the Paschal Panthers out of Fort Worth and the Arlington Lamar Vikings. It's a beautiful night. It's a clear sky, and we see the full moon has been coming up over the east stands all evening here, and it's just a beautiful white dot. Well, sort of white. I'm a little bit colorblind. It went from orange to, what color is that now?
It's more of a yellow.
Okay, thank you. You should ride in the car with me because I go on
red light.
I go on white, which is really the green light. I stop on orange, which is red, and then the yellow light is bright orange. And so riding with me can be an exciting experience sometimes. But that's enough about my handicaps. Let's go ahead and watch out for the football game. They are teed up and ready to go. And it looks like Juan Villegas is going to be kicking off as usual. The Vikings are kicking off opening, and they are defending the south end zone, so they'll be moving right to left if you're kind of looking at your computer or phone. And the Paschal Panthers are going to be receiving.
Chase Bell, number 12.
Go ahead.
Bell and Rogers back deep. And
He takes it at the 5-yard line, comes out to the 10. He's met immediately at the 15-yard line. Looks like Deshaun Gaddy and Sam Townsend in there on the stop. So the kickoff was spotted at a nice place at the 5-yard line. He got it out to the 15 before he was smothered by Gaddy and Townsend.
Yeah, there was nowhere to run out there. I mean, they had all their lanes covered.
And that's one of the keys on the kickoff, stay in your lane and cover it. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 16-yard line. And the Panthers come out. Cooper Bates is going to be the quarterback. He's under center. And he hands it off.
Yvonne Rhodes.
No, he's kept it. It looks like he tried a zone read. I thought he'd give it to number 31. So Bates is smothered in the backfield by Mercado and Javante Kemp in the backfield for a loss of yardage.
Yeah, Jordan Mercado stepped up as well, and it was a good team tackle.
And Ryan, it's interesting. I was up here watching and announcing the freshman game last night. They come up under center there, and I guess they're going to be doing it here every time. No pistol, no shotgun, and the fullbacks, anyone in the backfield is right up against them, so it's a really tight kind of formation here.
Yeah, very tight set.
Now it's a handoff to number 31. That's going to be Giovanni Rhodes. If he goes over toward the left tackle, he gets about 2 yards back to the 15-yard line.
Simon Foster brought him down, by the way, so that was a good job by their defensive line.
So plugging that hole, because he went between the left guard and the left tackle, I believe.
Exactly.
And then Sam Townsend, the linebacker, came over and backed up Foster.
Exactly.
Like he said. So it's going to be 3rd down and 11 now at the 15-yard line. So it's a big 3rd down here for the Vikings to see if they can put the Panthers in a 3-and-out and take the ball. Cooper Bates is the quarterback. He comes up under center, and the fullback is only like 2 steps behind him. It's a handoff to number 20-something. He gets to about the 21-yard line. Looks like Bobby Brown was in there for part of the stop.
Ball carriers number 25, Matthew.
No, that was number 20, not 21.
It looks like took the handoff right there, kind of on a fullback set. Tried to run it up the middle and only got about 5 yards. So
Bobby
forced to punt.
Bobby Brown and Kate Trush both in there defensively for the Vikings.
Good to see Bobby Brown back.
Oh yeah,
from that ankle, it looks like.
And he looks like he's moving pretty well. Our new A&M commit. The snap is bobbled by the punter, but he gets the kick away just out of the reach of a Lamar Vikings.
Yeah, Jalen Jones was back there to receive, and
Jones was deep, number 23.
The ball stopped at about the 42, 43-yard line in Viking territory, so they're going to start with good field position.
Yeah, really good field position at the 46. So we're going to march out there, see what the offense can do, see if they can, march the ball down the field and get some points on the board.
This will change. I've been told to tell you to do it. If you don't
So the ball actually went out of bounds before I saw it. So it's a 1st and 10 for the Vikings. It's 46-yard line. Jack Dawson is the quarterback. He hands it off to Matthew Shaw, who was in motion. He comes around the far end and gets up to the 50-yard line for about a 4-yard gain.
Yep.
And that's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Matthew Shaw is another one of those ex-running backs. When he was younger in Optimus football and everything, up and coming, he was a really good running back. So.
And you knew some of those kids. You worked with some of them, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I worked with, a few of the seniors. So.
Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle across the 50 to the 45. Michael Bradley still on the feet to the 40. 35, 30. That's a Tragney to the 20. He gets pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line by number 32, Christian Fell. And so, Michael Bradley, they had 2 or 3 chances to stop him in the middle.
Took on a tackle head on and just ran him over and just kept on going. And then another one tried to wrap him up. You're not going to wrap him up with an arm tackle.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 18-yard line. Dawson steps back, throws over to this sideline, in and out of the hands of Dayton Dobbs.
Yeah, and that was just a out pattern that was just dropped. He should have caught that. It was right in his hands. So
that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. The Vikings, and I'm not surprised if they kind of try to keep an upbeat tempo here as much as they can, but the incomplete pass will slow that down. So Dawson is in the pistol. takes a snap. He's rolling to the far side. He has a receiver in the end zone, but it's overthrown.
Just barely.
And that was just out of the reach of number 14, Genoa Balog. And so that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now.
Yeah, he threw towards that end zone, and it was just out of the reach. So
Balog had his man beat,
yeah,
but unfortunately the pass just out of his reach. So now that we're down in the red zone, we've had 2 incomplete passes, and we'll see what they do here on 3rd and 10. Dawson in the backfield. He bobbles the snap. It's a high snap. He throws over to the corner of the end zone again, and there's nobody there.
It's intended for Jalen Jones, but he kind of ran his route a little bit more shallow rather than out towards the pylon.
So unfortunately the pass went off into no man's land, and now the Vikings are going to have to settle for a field goal attempt from Juan Villegas, and the tee will be spotted at the 25-yard line. So this will be a 35-yard attempt for Villegas. Cade Tresh is the deep snapper on our field goals, and of course Jack Dawson will be the holder. Here's a snap. The ball is down. The kick is up. Plenty of leg, and it is good. So the Vikings, with 8:50 to go in the first quarter, take a 3-0 lead, and they'll be kicking off in just a few moments. So Ryan, on that drive, they had some pretty good momentum, but they got down to the red zone, 3 incomplete passes, and then had to settle for the field goal.
Yeah, 2 of those balls, one of them was just out of the reach. Jalen Jones, miscommunication, ran the wrong kind of route. He was kind of in the general vicinity, but he was supposed to break off a little bit more. And then Dayton Dubs with the drop, unfortunately, he's just got a game time nerve. He's got to settle down.
So now the Vikings are coming out. Villegas puts the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. And the Panthers come out.
Total yards is what? 36 yards, 5 plays, 1 first down.
That scoring drive for the field goal, 36 yards and 5 plays, resulted with the field goal, 35-yarder from Villegas.
Highlight of that was that long run, the first play.
Yes, Michael Bradley went deep into the territory, and then that's where it stalled out on the incomplete passes.
Just keep running the ball.
That's it, just run it. So here's the kick. The ball is up in the air. It's going to go deep again, and it's going to be fielded at the 3-yard line. He's across the 5, the 10, straight up the field along the hash marks, and he's wrapped up again at about the 16-yard line, maybe the 17, almost the identical spot on the field where the opening kickoff went.
Yeah, tackled by Sam Townsend, and
that's a bit of deja vu, because it was again Chase Bell that fielded the kickoff. Townsend involved in the tackle on the coverage, just like on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan Polk helped him out on that as well.
So now the Panthers will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Here they come out.
Very tight formation again.
Yep. The quarterback, Cooper Bates, comes up under center.
Bates under center.
The man in motion behind him, it drops back. He throws a pass to this side. It might have been tipped a little bit by number.
Looks like it was tipped by Daniel Huggins, number 3.
Good old Red Huggins, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell who he was, so I'm glad you spotted that. Yeah, because that ball was not catchable after he tipped it. And so now 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers.
It barely got to the linebacker core and then just dropped.
And, as we discussed in the pregame talk a little bit, the Panthers much more a passing team than a rushing team. So, a rushing team than a passing team. And so these passing plays would probably be few and far between, maybe trying to catch the Viking defense off guard. Now the play clock was down to 5 or 4 seconds, and the Panthers call a timeout. I couldn't tell if there was just confusion on the play they were trying to call in from the sideline or what, but they have to burn a timeout early.
Yeah, that could hurt them very quickly.
Spirit table is located in the northwest corner.
Yeah, it looks like we're playing our safeties a little bit closer towards the linebacker core in that zone 2 area, and not that the high zone area. So it looks like we're keying off more mainly on the rushing, and our cornerbacks are kind of got more man coverage, right, which is good, especially for a team like this, because mainly their quarterback's going to run. He's more of a dual threat, more of a runner than a passer, and you know, maybe keep him contained more so with your safeties.
So here they come back onto the field,
because it looks like Lamar's just running one high, which is Red Huggins at the top of the defense. And they're running a 3 linebacker core.
Okay, it's the Panthers' ball, 2nd down and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Man in motion behind the quarterback. Quarterback Bates hands it off to number 20, I believe it was, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield.
Which is Sean
Looks like
Parnell.
that was Sean Parnell, yes.
And it looks like
Sean Parnell.
And so Sam Townsend and Red Huggins teamed up to make that tackle over on the far side.
Yeah, I saw Caden Hadawi over there as well. Caden initially hit him, so, and then
First contact.
Yeah, he made that first initial contact, slowed him down for Cade, Trush, and then Sam Townsend.
And Caden Hadawi had that big interception last week in the Bowie game that really pretty much helped cap off that one.
Yeah,
he is an incredible player on defense. He will be following that ball all around. Showing blitz. Here's a snap, a pass to this sideline to number 25. He's across the 20-yard line. Breaks a tackle. He's going to get wrapped up at the 24-yard line, and that's going to be short of the first down. So another 3 and out on the second drive for the Panthers, and they'll be in punting situation. 4th down and about 3 yards to go.
4th and 3, 4th and 4. So it was a good stop. Nobody was really covering him from that motion because we were all lined up for the blitz.
4th down and 3.
Everybody's rushing to the ball very well.
So Bates
tackling.
is the punter, I believe, and he's back there to punt it. And we've got Jalen Jones deep at his own 46. A little bit of a high snap.
Almost blocked.
The punt rolls to the 40, to the 35, and then it's going to go out of bounds. It took a right turn. The ball hit the 40, rolled, kind of bounced up, hit the 35-yard line, and then just took an incredible immediate right turn and went out of bounds. So a 40-yard punt by Bates will give the Lamar Vikings the ball at their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. So, Ryan, I was out in West Texas this week, and you know, some old musicians that come out there, Waylon Jennings and Buddy Holly and all. And there's a song that I was thinking about, Hold On. But that was Ricky Valens, wasn't it? I can't remember.
I believe so.
Okay.
It might be a little bit too old for my age.
Oh, okay. Hand off to Michael Bradley. He's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a loss of about 2 yards.
Number 88 making the stop.
And so a rare loss of yardage for the Vikings, as Coach DeLay will say on those coaching shows and other times. Hey, we don't like to play from behind the chains.
Exactly.
We want positive yardage.
Yeah, you always want to be moving forward.
So 2nd down and 12 for the Vikings at their own 33-yard line.
See if we can open up this running game a little bit more. Back to pass again. He hits Jalen Jones. John pushes out to, looks like the 43-yard line. So a decent pickup. It looks like a 10-yard pickup. So it'll be a 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2.
So 3rd down and 2 for the Vikings. They break the huddle pretty quickly. One of the Panthers was almost caught off sides. He was kind of looking around.
Yeah.
And now Panther jumps off sides. A free play. Dawson throws to this sideline. That could be interference also.
And there's two penalties.
So we're going to have an offsides. Then we're going to have defensive pass interference. Dubs was the intended receiver over here. But number 12 for the Panthers.
It was number 72.
I'm sorry, 72.
Harrison Good.
Oh, they went off sides.
Yeah.
Okay, and number 12 was the defender, Chase Bell, that was all over Dubs to prevent the pass. So I'm sure take the 15-yard interference penalty with the automatic first down.
Yeah, they declined the offsides, and then they picked up the pass interference. So they're going to take the 15 yards.
15 yards of automatic first down.
Ball should be placed right at the 42-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 Lamar. We line up 3 to the right, single receiver to the left.
Here's a snap. Jack Dawson on the keeper. And he's brought down in the backfield by number 72, the same guy that jumped off sides earlier.
Harrison Good had to make good on his play.
Sure enough, he had to redeem himself and make good. He has a good one, Ryan. It's starting early tonight, I can tell.
Promise you there's no vodka in my drink.
So now with the
Second down 15.
second and 15, the yard marker is somewhere off. Here's the snap. It's going to go to Desmond Moultrie up the middle, 50, 45, 40, 35 to the 30. He's got a first down inside the 30-yard line.
Exactly, broke several tackles and right up the gut, right up the middle into the safety territory. And number 22 for Paschal,
17-yard carry.
Cole Peck had to bring him down, but not after he got the first down. So
We didn't see Desmond Moultrie last week in the Bowie game at all. It was an away game. I went over and watched it, but I don't think he had any playing time. It's good to see him back, switching off some time with Michael Bradley there in the backfield. And he is to Dawson's right. There's a snap. Dawson steps back, throws to this corner, and there's contact again, but the ball is way overthrown. I think they're going to say that was uncatchable. But again, number 12, Bell, was all over Dayton Dobbs.
yeah, he tripped him up and brought Dayton Dobbs completely down.
Second down 10 at the 30.
So, I mean, it happens. They get caught up with each other, and looks like Dayton Dobbs does have a chance to pick up some yards if Jack Dawson can get him the ball, and they can just start picking on him.
They can connect, and yeah.
Exactly.
Now,
big plays will happen with that.
we've got twins left, single receiver right. Moultrie in the backfield to the left of Dawson this time. 2nd and 10 at the 30.
Dawson.
That's a keeper by Dawson across the 30, 25, and to the almost to the 20. He's going to be just a little bit short of the first down, so it's going to be 3rd down and less than 1. Ryan, do you think that was a design run? Because he went pretty quickly.
Designed,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, completely designed. He tucked the ball in immediately, and then there's nobody there for him until Rhodes started to catch him from behind.
3rd and 1. There was a little bit of movement on the defensive line, but they didn't jump off sides and we didn't snap. Dawson looks back to the sideline, gets a new play. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Moultrie up the middle. He's across the 20-15, down towards the 10. He carries a couple of players to the 7-yard line. So Moultrie has another nice run up the middle for a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 7.
Exactly. Cole Peck and Gianni Roberts had to bring him down both, but he was carrying Cole Peck. He would have carried him down to the end zone if Peck didn't, come in and try to make a play on him.
So we've got all 3 receivers to the right. Moultrie in the backfield next to Dawson. We have one in motion coming across. That's Jones. Dawson throws to the corner of the end zone. Matthew Shaw catches it. Yes, touchdown Vikings.
Dayton Dobbs catches that.
I'm sorry, thank you.
I told you he was going to connect with him.
You did. And I have the worst time sometimes when I'm watching even getting 10 and 2 mixed up, and you're right completely. Yep. That was Dayton Dobbs on the catch.
So it was a great play. It was a good out run.
So you've got dibs on calling Dobbs.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got dibs on Dobbs.
There you go. So with the extra point, Cade Trush will be the deep snapper, and Dawson is the holder, and Juan Villegas going for the point after.
Yep. Trench to snap.
Is it okay? And the kick is up, and it is good. So that makes your score Lamar Vikings 10, Paschal Panthers 0.
And that's with 4:15 to go in the first quarter. So already 2 possessions, 2 scores for the Vikings. It's a 65-yard scoring drive in 6 plays. 3 first downs on that drive.
Highlighted by the 2 runs
by Moultrie.
Right up the middle. By Moultrie in the middle, and then Dobbs getting to that out on the sideline for the score. So
the 8-yard pass to the corner of the end zone, well placed by Dawson.
Exactly.
And a great concentration and focus to bring that ball in by Dobbs.
Exactly.
Not Shaw.
Going up at the highest point and catching it, it was a great reception. It was textbook.
Speaking of catching balls, I got to say this at least once during the game. Last night, again, I was watching and announcing over the PA system the Vikings and Paschal Panthers freshman game, and my own son, David Frawley, intercepted a pass at the 45 or 50 and ran it 30 yards and set up a touchdown right before halftime. So
Paschal.
that was his only interception of the year, and it was cool that I got to see it.
12.
It's a proud papa moment.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I even announced it over the loudspeaker. That interception, David, my son, Frawley, I was so proud.
Yeah.
He didn't mind too much. Usually those kinds of things might embarrass him, but he was a good sport about it. Here's the kick from Villegas, and it's a short pooch kick that's going to be caught at the 37-yard line. He didn't call fair catch, and Deshaun Gaddy just all over him. And then Townsend in there also.
Exactly, yeah. And they teed off on Farley, not to be confused with Farley.
Exactly. That's going to be a little confusing tonight if we're not careful. But, man, I thought he might have tried fair catch on a pooch kick. The coaches might talk to him about that just for his own safety, because Deshaun Gaddy, nice clean hit, but just flattened him.
Yeah. Well, that's the design, is so they could hit the ball, hopefully jar the ball out, and either gain control of the ball from a fumble or catch the ball on their own. But it's to catch the special teams not paying attention. Quarterback's directly under center. So motion, handoff.
On 1st and 10, it was straight up the middle. Jimmy Strange, it's a strange carry there.
Yeah, with the very quick.
I think Javonte Kemp was in there on the tackle. It's about a 2-yard gain up to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, Javon Moore and Javonte Kemp both they sniffed out that play real quick and hit him. But, yeah, it was a very quick handoff directly under center, which you don't see in high school football much. Most of these quarterbacks are going
the ball at the 39-yard line, under center again, the tight formation in the backfield. Man in motion behind the quarterback. It's a pitch to number 20. He takes it to the 35-yard line. He's wrapped up immediately. I'm sure they're going to give him the forward progress at the 35, which is still a loss. James Douglas, number 18, wrapped him up.
Yeah, James Douglas saw him coming out there. It looks like they're running a double wing, and just popped him right as he got that pitch. He could have almost caught that pitch and ran it back.
Exactly. So now that's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 at the 35-yard line. So again here, they did get a first down on this drive, but it's
from the 35-yard line.
Another tough 3rd down and long for the Panthers. They've got 2 receivers this side, one on the far side. Now man in motion. Bates under center. He hands it off up the middle. He's wrapped up immediately in the backfield. Jimmy Strange took the handoff and looked like number 77, Jaron Roseman.
Yeah, he was in the backfield very quickly, and as soon as he gets the handoff, boom, he was brought down.
Now, what's cool about Jaron Roseman, his dad's a barber, and I remember from the junior high and the Optimist days on it, he always had the coolest designs shaved into his head and stuff. His dad's very talented.
Javonte Kemp's father as well. Yes. Okay. Always putting amazing designs, artwork on the side, on the side of Javante's head.
Punt situation again for the Panthers. It's 4th down. Jalen Jones is deep. Here's the punt. Barely gets it away over the heads. He fields it at the 35, finds a hole at the 40, breaks one tackle, then he gets wrapped up at the 42-yard line. And it looks like number 20, Sean Parnell, number 1, Jimmy Strange, were the lead tacklers there. And number 8, Harrison Parsons, also in on the tackle. So now the Vikings start again with really decent field position at their own 42-yard line. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, leading 10-0.
Paschal's really having a lot of trouble running the ball with those quick snaps, and they're so compact and so close together. You're able to contain them.
Jalen Jones comes in motion. Dawson throws across the middle in a slant pattern to Matthew Shaw. I almost said Dayton Shaw. Matthew Shaw. I'm going to get it right completely here. And I don't know why I have the biggest mental block. I think part of this, I think Dayton Dubs should be number 2. Dubs. I think that's what it has been all year long and even last year. But it's Matthew Shaw coming across the middle. He was met immediately by a defender also. He might have heard footsteps. 2nd down and 10 for the Vikings.
Jack Dawson also threw a bullet to him.
He did.
I mean, just...
It's a handoff to Michael Bradley up the middle across the 45. He drags a player up to the 49-yard line. So that's going to be about a 7-yard gain for the Vikings.
Looks like Billy Thompson brought him down, but not after he drug him 2 yards for that as well, just running right behind his line.
So it sets up 3rd down and 3 at the Vikings' own 49-yard line. And Michael Bradley in the backfield. And see, that's the thing about the Vikings. We can switch out Bradley, Moultrie, Bradley takes the handoff, but he's met immediately behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a rare loss of yardage for him. And there's looks like an injured player on the field for the Vikings, and I can't see the number.
Yeah, it looks like
76.
76 is down.
And that's Sinatuli Tuhoma.
Tuhema. Unfortunately.
Now, I don't know if it's he is moving all of his arms and legs, and I can't tell if he kind of got the wind knocked out of him. They've got him his arms out to his side stretched out, so at least good sign that he's moving everything.
Yeah, it's possible he may have like a cramp because of the weather. You know, it's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold. It's 62 out right now, but today was a little bit warmer than a usual day.
Yeah, high was, I think, 76. Yesterday was 90, I think, or 89 or officially, whatever. And then another front's coming through. So, yeah, that weather going back and forth can play havoc on the body sometimes.
Exactly. So, hopefully shortly he'll be up moving around. But on the last play, it looked like the linebacker number 31 just blitzed the line and got through, and that's kind of what pushed him back. As soon as he got the handoff, he was met immediately.
Now, since we have some time, I'm going to mention someone else on the freshman team. There's a guy named Pendleton, Darius Pendleton, and that reminded me of him because I've nicknamed him Darius Born in the Backfield Pendleton. He has had a number of stops in the backfield, and he times that the snap just right, and he's going to be one of these up-and-comers we'll watch at the JV level and then eventually the varsity level. But it seems like he times the snap, and then he blitzes through from his linebacker spot, and he'll tackle the quarterback or whoever gets the ball. And I can't even count the number of times he's had a tackle for loss of yardage. And after the game, it was their final game of the season, I went out and talked to him, and I said, hey, you don't know me. I do the announcing. He goes, thank you. And his mom said, love that nickname. I'm thinking about getting a shirt that says Born in the Backfield. So it's fun at those levels to have a little bit of fun with the players and stuff.
Exactly.
So Tuhema is getting up now.
He's being helped off as well.
Yeah, he's favoring the left leg, it looks like.
Yeah.
He's not putting any pressure on it at all, and he's, again, Rachel and Bryant, the trainers, look like they're helping him off. And he's a big guy to help off the field.
Yeah.
So
he's putting
a little pressure on it, yeah. So hopefully that's a good sign that it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, hopefully he just kind of rolled it up a little bit and he'll be all right.
So now it's going to be 4th down and 5. And speaking of 5, it's number 5, Caden Hadawi, that's going to do the punting. He's punted off and on during the season.
Yeah, him and Dayton Dubs will trade off because Dayton Dubs was a soccer player as well.
So now there's a flag on the play and the illegal substitution against the Vikings. Did you see someone come off the field late?
No, I did not.
I didn't either. So I'm not sure what happened there. I did see Matthew Shaw go in motion across.
Number 71 keeps on.
Oh, you know what? We might have had 12 players on the field. I saw the sign for, I guess it's the same sign for illegal substitution. So, yeah, we brought our 12th man off the field. Speaking of the 12th man, A&M plays Auburn tomorrow. But there's a snap. Hadawi does the rugby-style kick, gets it away. It's a nice high kick. It's going to bounce at the 30-yard line and roll another 10, 11, 12 yards. Well, 9 yards. 8 yards. So it's out at the 22-yard line.
On a side note, Caden Hadawi was a quarterback.
Yes.
Well, so if he needs to, he's got the option to throw that ball and catch the special teams.
Yeah, in fact, it was kind of a quarterback contest between him and Jack Dawson, a very healthy contest. And I would talk with Coach DeLay about that on the preseason coaches shows. And he would say, you know, all that kind of stuff does is make both players better.
Exactly.
Dawson is a quarterback, and Hadawi, the great player and guy that he has been doing a wonderful job, defense, special teams, and even a couple of times coming in on offense. So.
Exactly. Well, I mean, with that quarterback knowledge, he can read what the offense is trying to do as far as playing defense and safety as well, and he can command kind of that defense and lead them as well.
There's a handoff to number 33, James Farley takes a handoff. He's met by Javante Kemp in the backfield, so a loss of 1 yard.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11.
2nd down 11 at the 21-yard line, it looks like.
21-yard line.
And now the Panthers looking to their sideline to get their play called in. Looks like they have it. The play clock is down to 12 seconds.
10.
Comes under center. Here's the snap. He drops back, throws to this side, number 25, catches it across the 20, but he's only going to get to about the 23-yard line before he's wrapped up. And it looks like Deshaun Gaddy was in there on that stop, along with
Javion Moore as well.
Yes.
Number 45.
And I could see Jordan McCotter was also over there in the area.
Exactly.
And that's the end of the first quarter with our score, Lamar 10, Paschal 0. Well, Ryan, anything surprised you yet tonight?
Lamar Vikings having good success on running the ball, and especially right up the middle. They're getting to the second tier, past the linebackers, sometimes even to the safeties, fighting off tacklers. A lot of missed tackles by Paschal has contributed to that score being 10-0. And Paschal's just... They're trying to pass. They're trying to catch the Vikes off with that, but they're passing east and west and not north and south like they should be. They should be throwing the ball down the field and not sideline to sideline.
Well, that's a good point. They are having some receptions, completions, but they're for a short game because, when they're throwing the ball, it's going east-west. Good point.
Exactly. You never want to throw east and west unless you're trying to push the defense towards the sidelines, but the safeties are starting to creep up a little bit, and we're only running one safety.
So play's about to begin here in the beginning of the second quarter. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Panthers at their own 23-yard line.
Very
it's going to be a handoff,
formation.
and he goes around the right side. He's going to have a first down to the 35, and he moves to the 40-yard line. Looked like a little misdirection that confused the Viking defense.
Exactly, that double wing, that's what you're running. When you're running the wing offense like that, you're running somebody in motion constantly trying to throw off the defense.
And that's what DeLay was talking about why the first couple of days this week in practice, they didn't even use a football. They were just watching the motion. And DeLay's point on that was, hey, we don't want you to watch the football. On this type of an offense set, you're going to have to follow your player. You got to stay on your man.
Exactly.
And so that's what that was about. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 39-yard line. Man in motion comes behind the quarterback. It's a handoff. The ball's on the ground, I believe. And let's see who picks it up. The Vikings are saying they have it. And they do.
Yes, sir.
And number 47.
Vikings recover.
And his name is not on
Anderson.
Number 47.
Jeffrey
High. I can remember his last name is High, and Jeffrey High got that fumble recovery.
1st and 10, Lamar.
And I couldn't tell, Ryan, if that was a little bit of a bad snap or the quarterback wasn't really focused and ready for it, but it was a bad deal from the beginning for them as the ball went to the ground, but Jeffrey High immediately saw it and scooped down on it.
That's the one problem with the single wing or the double wing offense is you've got so many players in motion and so many players moving in a tight quarter that you have to secure that ball.
So 1st and 10 now for the Vikings at the 39-yard line. Twins left, or twins right. Dawson takes it, he throws across the middle and just
Dubs
out of the reach of Dayton Dubs.
Looks like it was almost off of his fingertips.
Just out of his reach a little bit. He was
barely.
closely guarded by one of the defenders for Paschal.
Number 12 was defending him.
Bell?
It's Chase Bell, and then he had linebacker help or safety help, which is Prodigy Williams over the top as well.
The quick two-step drop back, and then he throws. So now, looks like Desmond Moultrie is in the backfield to the left of Dawson. Dawson takes a high snap. It's to Moultrie up the middle, across the 35, and down to the 34-yard line.
And he was brought down by Parsons.
They should have named him Allen, and then he would have been the Allen Parsons Project. All right, the ball's at the 34-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 5 for the Vikings. Twins right, single left. It's a handoff to Moultrie. He's coming to this side. He's trying to string it out across the 35. He's going to get to the 30. He's almost down, and he drags 2 guys with him.
So they're going to make 3 tackles. 3 tacklers, and then it takes 3 more to actually bring him down.
Yeah, now it is a 1st down. I was waiting to see, wow, great spot. The ball's all the way to the 26-yard line.
Yep.
And that's good for Lamar Viking. 1st down, 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
It's great to get Jack into a good rhythm with running the ball and then some, a couple of those good quick passes out there, but mainly just run the ball.
And now Paschal calls a timeout, probably trying to regroup. The tempo was getting pretty upbeat, and the Vikings moving the ball pretty well.
Exactly.
So that's their second timeout of the half. With our score, Lamar 10, Paschal 0.
Especially with the sophomore quarterback, you want to break that rhythm. Because once he gets in that rhythm, he knows who to throw to, who to hand off to. He gets more comfortable throughout the game, and Paschal's just trying to do whatever they can to throw him off the rhythm, trying to stall out the drive a little bit. So, scores from around the district right now, it's showing Mansfield High School is up on Bowie 13-7 in the first quarter. Martin is on top of Arlington, 7-0, and Sam Houston and Crowley, it shows no score.
Interesting.
So it looks like they're not playing yet.
It can't be a weather delay, because unless there's something weird happening just across town. Okay, 10:36 to go in the second quarter. The Vikings have the ball 1st and 10. Here's a snap to Dawson. He steps back, just a little bubble screen to Desmond Moultrie, who's going to break one tackle and get down to the 24-yard line. All that effort, and he gets 2 yards.
Yeah. It's kind of a little bit of like a broken screen play, and he had to run over one tackler, and then it took 2 more to bring him down. So it's taken a multitude of Panthers just to bring him down.
So after that play, it's going to be 2nd down and 8 at the 24-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap. Dawson's the keeper. He's going to go across the 25 to the 20, 15-10. Breaks the tackle, drags the guy to the 5-yard line. So that's a big run for Dawson.
Yeah. Broke 2 tackles right there, faked out another. And it's taken 2 more Panthers to bring him down right just beyond the 5-yard line. So he's first and goal off of that run.
Very nice. Just inside the 5-yard line, about the 4.5. Now we've got 2 in the backfield, Jalen Jones and Moultrie with Dawson. High snap again. Dawson keeps it, goes up the middle, tucks his shoulder to the left, and he'll make it to about the 2-yard line.
Yep. Couple yards a game.
About 2.5 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
They're just running up the middle. I mean, just.
And this is something different. The Vikings having a lot of consistent success running up the middle. Some of the bigger, more physical teams we've seen, we haven't had that success up the middle. So this is a different opportunity for some of these guys.
Exactly.
Now it looks like James Douglas is in the background, in the backfield, along with Jalen Jones. It's a handoff to Jalen Jones. Comes around to this side. Touchdown, Vikings!
Some great blocking out there by the line and the wide receivers out there.
Yeah, I want to call out some of these guys. Number 73 and number 52. So number 52 is Gerardo Castro, and he had a really good block, along with number 73, the center, Connor Lowen.
Yeah.
And Connor did a great job after he snapped the ball, pulling to the right like he's supposed to, and help block there.
Exactly. And, yeah, some of those linemen get out there pretty quick and make those crucial blocks.
And the kick is up, and it is good on the extra point with Cade Tresh doing the deep snap. The hold by Jack Dawson, and the kick by Juan Villegas. The score now, Lamar 17, Paschal 0 with 9:05 to go in the second quarter.
Highlighted by several big runs again. So that seems like the great thing about tonight is the Vikings are able to run the ball up the middle mainly.
Well, that was a 39-yard drive. It took 5 plays, 2 first downs made on the drive. The 6-yard touchdown run was the scoring, but one of the keys was that 19-yard run in the middle of the drive. 2:08 off the clock on that. Want to thank Darren for doing our spotting and Tim for doing our drive charts tonight. Of course, our producer is Jay Ryan, who makes everything happen.
Jay
And of course, we're missing Joe Toronto tonight, who's under the weather, who's often up here helping under the headphones, and unfortunately under the weather a little bit. So Joe, if you're listening, I think you are, with my sister Ann, we miss you and hope you get better very soon. Well, the ball is straight up and down on the tee almost. Let's see what this kick is going to be. And it's a deeper kick to about the 10-yard line. It's going to be fielded at the 7. Number 11, he goes across the 15. He's wrapped up at the 19 by James Douglas.
Yeah, Douglas with a big hit.
Open field tackle, kept his lane.
And wrapped up very well, too.
Yeah.
Both hands around, stopped him right in his tracks. He did not go forward at all. Just brought him straight back.
So the Panthers will be starting 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They've been the previous starts were that 16 to 18-yard line range, so in that same area.
Coming up at halftime, the Paschal Band, followed by our homecoming ceremony.
And of course, tonight is homecoming, so at halftime they're going to be presenting the homecoming court, and another proud Papa moment. My son Charlie, who's a senior, is one of the candidates for homecoming king.
King or queen?
Hey now, what easy there. And no, Mr. Ryan, it's not Ferrari, it's Frawley. He would like to drive a Ferrari, but it's, the last name is Frawley.
I wish I had a Ferrari, Frawley.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie, I wish I had a Ferrari, Frawley. That's it. Thank you, Ryan. All right.
Another tight formation.
Man in motion behind the quarterback. It's pitched to him. He breaks a tackle, but then he gets wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Possibly a yard. No, it's going to be no gain. It looks like the line judge. Well, he's moving around. So now he's, let's see where they put the ball. They're going to give him 1 yard to the 20-yard line.
It looks like Miles brought him down on that open field out there. So that was a pretty good wrap-up as well. Defense doing pretty well.
I thought it was second down. Yeah, second down and 9. The yardstick across the way is off.
There we go.
Second down and 9 for the Panthers. They've got 1 receiver left, 1 right. Here's a man in motion behind Bates. It's a pass to the man in motion back at the 20. Screen pass. He's going to get wrapped up, and then he's hit right at the sideline by number 6. Khalifa Gar.
Yeah, just knocked him straight out of bounds.
It looked like Jordan Polk had kind of contained him a little bit.
Exactly.
But just to make sure he didn't get away, Gar just pretty much nailed him right at that legal spot at the sideline. So now it's 3rd down and about 3 at the 31-yard line.
3rd down and 3.
Should be 3rd and 4.
It's 3rd and 3. The yardstick across the way is wrong. The ball's at the 31. Here's a snap. Quarterback rolls back. He's in trouble. He's wrapped up by James Douglas, I believe, in the backfield. Yes.
Douglas with the sack.
He just
beautiful.
He came in. He came in untouched and just timed it perfectly on that little blitz play. Loss of yardage back to the 26-yard line is 4th down, and again punting for the Panthers. And Jalen Jones is going to be the deep man for the Vikings. He's standing at his own 43-yard line. Now, Ryan, we've been coming close to getting a block here on one of these punts. It may happen before the night's over.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's been very, very close, almost off the
Here's the snap. Here's the kick. Oh, barely gets it away.
Kate Tresh almost blocked that, and that ball hits the 45 and rolls down to the
other 45.
Other 43, 44-yard line.
So Kate Tresh came very close that time, and
scared the punter.
He did, and he like stopped for a half second. Kate Tresh and Caden Hadawi are good buddies. They also play baseball, so it's fun to see them, and they're both great defense and special team players.
They've grown up with each other since the 3rd grade.
Yeah,
2nd grade actually. So they've there's quite a close-knit group of friends there.
And you can call both those guys headhunters on defense. They are moving around. So now the Vikings come out on offense, 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line, 7:20 to go in the second quarter. Dawson takes a snap. So another little bit of a high snap, handoff up the middle. Here's Michael Bradley. He's going to drag a guy to the 50-yard line before he finally gets slung down by his jersey.
Yeah, Parsons just had his jersey and just brought him down any way he could, but a great strong run for 5 yards.
Oh, yeah, he dragged him at least 2. So that's going to be a 6-yard gain. 2nd down and 4 for the Vikings at their own 50-yard line.
Right up.
And I'll say their own 50 because the ball's just on this side of the 50-yard line.
But the nose is right on.
That's right.
It's right in the middle of our UFO.
Unidentified
field object.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the white dot in the middle of the field. Here's a pass from Dawson to the far side over the hands of Michael Bradley. A little bit of a late kind of push there, not too bad, by number 32. just to kind of say, hey, Christian fell, the defender saying, hey, don't forget I'm here if you catch that ball.
Just in case.
Just in case. So incomplete pass is going to bring up 3rd down and 4 at their own 50-yard line.
Near the UFO.
Near the UFO, the big white dot. Now, what color is the moon now?
The moon is white.
Okay, so we got the little white dot in the sky, the big white dot in the field. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back, throws quickly over the middle. It's going to be a first down to the 42-yard line of Jalen Jones. And a great spot and a nice quick pass by Dawson over the middle on the slant pattern.
In traffic, through the defenders, hits Jalen Jones, forces them into, first down territory, and so now we're knocking at the door.
1st and 10 at the 42 in Paschal territory, 6:16 to go. Trips right. It's a pass over to the far side. It looks like it's complete. Yes, signaling a completion. Dayton Dubs catches it and falls out of bounds. Number 12 is the defender, Chase Bell, who was going to make sure he didn't get any farther. I think the momentum of the pass kind of took Dubs down anyway. But a nice 4-yard gain brings up 2nd down and 6 for the Vikings.
Yeah, it was a good, nice, quick 5-yard out pattern. And Dubs caught it, made a great catch. We got trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Douglas in the backfield.
Dawson's going to keep it around the far side. He gets across the 40 to the 35, and he's going to get the first down, I believe, down to the 32-yard line. So that'll be another first down. Number 32 is in on the tackle, and that's going to be
Billy Thompson bringing him down.
To the 32 after the 7-yard run.
So a 7-yard run by number 7, first down. I want to say hello to my other brother-in-law, Mel Skaggs, who's listening in Bartonville, just south of Denton. So thanks, Mel, who sends me a message saying, go Vikes.
VFND.
1st and 10. Dawson steps back, throws it straight down the field towards Shaw, but he overthrows him just a little bit.
Just barely. Shaw was a little shallow on that, cutting towards the sideline, right up the middle of the field, kind of running that out pattern, but just couldn't get there. So
that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Vikings at the 32-yard line. 17-0 lead, 5:33 to go in the 2nd quarter. Homecoming night for the Vikings here. It's a beautiful, clear sky. The moon is just right up over the 50-yard line.
Casting a shadow on the UFO.
That's right.
2nd down, 10.
So we got 2 receivers right, 1 left. Now a man in motion. Here's the snap. It's a handoff. No, it's Dawson back. He throws toward the end zone to number 14, Baylog. Touchdown, Vikings.
He was wide open. He had his man wide by 5 yards.
That was going to be number 21, Eric Rodriguez, that was doing the coverage on that. Yeah. But Baylog just had him beat.
Oh, yeah. He had him on the inside and just, it was an easy.
Genoa Baylog is the receiver there. Beautiful pass by Dawson.
Exactly.
Nice little fake handoff.
Yep.
So now here we go for the extra point. Cade Tresh will do the snap, Dawson doing the holding, and Juan Villegas to do the kick. Here's the snap, the ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 24-0 is our new score. 5:24 to go. Well, momentum is a big thing, and we've got all the momentum in this game so far, Ryan.
Yeah, we're scoring at will. Every drive we have, we've almost scored. So I think there's one drive that stalled off, and every other drive that we've had, we've scored on, gotten points. So
definitely so. That was a 44-yard drive, 5 plays. 56 yards. We started at our own 44, and then the 7-yard.
2 first downs made.
Yep.
And then the 32-yard touchdown pass.
On the field. We'd like to take a moment and recognize all of the alumni who were in the stands tonight.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous night out. It's 61 degrees out, full moon.
And Ryan, I want to say this is one of the best, this is probably the biggest, best crowd we've had out here all season. Homecoming, I know some people have come back into Arlington for the game, but it's really nice to see the home stands this full.
Yeah, show your support for the kids.
Definitely so. Well, the teams are out there on the field. You know, again, like every time, y'all don't get to see it because we can't show live video on Friday nights per Texas University Interscholastic League rules, but they do a stutter step to try to fake the receiving team thinking they're going to do a quick kick. Here's the kickoff. It's up in the air, straight down the middle of the field. It's caught at the 10-yard line. He's across the 15 to the 20 to about the 21, so about a 10 or 11-yard return. And it looked like it was number 11, Bates. So, wow. Bates is their quarterback. He's their punter. He's their kickoff return man.
Yeah, he's a do-it-all kind of player. A utility, very utility player.
So now the Paschal Panthers are going to start this drive at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
5:18 remaining in the first half.
Some of the guys that I can see who are up front, Jaron Roseman is up on that defensive line. James Douglas is over on this end of it. We got number 25 out on this end as a cornerback. So quarterback keeper up the middle. He's going to get maybe 2 yards if that.
We got Jacob Erickson up front as well in the trenches.
Number 45
doing a great job. And it looks like Dalen Franklin as well.
So a gain of about 2 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 at the 23-yard line for the Panthers.
It's always nice to recognize those defensive tackles and ends right there. That
they don't get a lot of credit for what they do because they're not the one either carrying the ball, but they're making that play possible defensively to help the stop. Bates under center, man in motion behind him. He keeps it again around to just between the left guard and left tackle.
Looks like
and James Douglas makes the stop. And he gets maybe to the 25.5-yard line.
Yeah.
So they've got to get to the 31. So just it's 3rd and a long 5.
Yeah.
I guess you would call that.
5 and 3/4.
5.62 yards to go. Not that anyone's being real specific or technical here. Anyway, 4:08 to go. The clock is rolling. Bates comes up under center. He's got one receiver left and one right. Man in motion behind him. He throws to this side in the 33-yard line. Number 14 catches the ball, and that looks like that's going to be a 1st down. Number 14 for them is Nick Belandrin. And so that's a 1st down. The Panthers move the sticks, and it's at the 33-yard line.
Just barely gets past the sticks because he caught it on a knee.
Yes.
So
he wasn't going to be able to go any further, and he hit it right at the spot. So now their passing game is kicking up a little bit. And again, not much of a passing team so far this season, but that's where they're finding some success. And that time they did pass north. Man in motion. It's a handoff. No, it's a keeper up the middle over the right or left guard. And he's going to get to the 42-yard line, it looks like they're going to say. So
looks like Javante Kemp
and Moore.
Javion Moore looks like brought him down.
Now, they're having some success with this quarterback keeper, but Ryan Bates is not one of the largest guys out there, and I don't know how many times he's going to be able to take that abuse and hitting. I saw it last night in the freshman game. They had a small quarterback. They would go for some quarterback sneaks, very successful, but tough way to get some yardage.
Yeah, by the end of the game, they're sore.
2nd down and 6. It's a handoff to number 25. He's met in the backfield at the 35-yard line, maybe the 36.
Jeffrey High right there got to the backfield and just grabbed his legs and made sure everybody else could come in and gang tackle him. But, I mean, he had that snap timed.
Speaking of a tough way to lose a yard, you get wrapped up at the ankles, basically, and then 2 others can finish you off.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be 3rd
waiting for the hit.
Yeah, 3rd down and 7. That reminds me of being in the principal's office when I was a little kid, just waiting for the hit. Hey, Mom and Dad, I never had that problem, really, so if you're listening. All right, 3rd down and 7 for the Panthers at their own 41. Bates keeps it, but he breaks a tackle. He's across the 40, and then he gets dragged down by number 45 at the 43-yard line, and that's going to be right at a 1st down.
Yep.
So Javion Moore makes that tackle.
Yeah, Bates kind of spun out of that first initial hit and made a pretty good run.
So twice now they've gotten exactly the yardage needed for a 1st down. So 1st and 10
just
for
enough.
the Panthers. And this is what they want to do right now. Run the ball, keep the clock moving, keep the ball out of the Vikings' hands.
Yeah, definitely keep the ball in the offense that's clicking.
But they need to get some big yardage here to be able to score before the half. Man in motion. Bates is back. He's looking. He's under pressure. He's going to get dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And it looks like James Douglas led that. And then it's number 51 or 61. 61 was also back there helping Dalen Franklin.
bringing him down. Yeah, he's getting wrapped up. Bates is taking some hits tonight, so that's got to wear on a quarterback very quickly.
It has to, because there's the design keepers.
Yeah.
Then there's the ones where maybe a little bit of a read option type thing, and then there's that where he's just scrambling. The poor guy's just getting hit over and over.
At the north end of the stadium.
Yeah, definitely.
Food and drinks is available.
Well, we've got to stop. Okay, Ryan, I got a spur-of-the-moment question for you. Jay Ryan, our producer, is also doing the PA announcing, advertising the concession stand. Quickly, what's your favorite concession stand food at a stadium?
You've always got to test the hot dog.
Okay, grilled or boiled?
A grilled.
Yeah,
definitely grilled.
All right, well,
We're in Texas.
That's right. Well, my favorite is the Frito pie.
Yes.
That's how I judge the concession stand. And darn it, if they don't put jalapenos on there to begin with, we're going to have us a problem.
You might be from New York City.
There you go. All right, so the timeout has ended. There's 1:31 to go here in the second quarter. Now, second down and 12 at the 41-yard line for the Panthers in their own territory.
Another tight formation.
Yep.
Bates is directly under center.
He's got one receiver far to the right, one shorter here on the left side. Man in motion behind him. He drops back. He's going to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to get sacked. And that's going to be number 58. And that is Simone Foster.
Simone with the big tackle. He's been fighting.
That time he was born in the backfield just about. So now the clock running because that was a running play, and there's no timeouts left for Paschal as the clock getting down to about a minute left in the half. And it's going to be third down and about 14, it looks like. Third down and 15 at their own 38-yard line. Man in motion.
They got to get to Lamar's 47.
It's a keeper. Two fake handoffs. We just wrapped up in the backfield. And that's going to be number 35. And that's going to be Jacob Erickson is the tackler. So we're having a lot of different players on defense, get some tackles and get some things going on here.
And it's our defensive tackles and defensive ends right there, not just the linebackers, safeties, and corners stepping up and making those tackles.
So a lot of good containment, right?
Exactly. And the defensive tackles and ends are fighting off their blocks and swimming off of them and getting to the quarterback or the running back.
Well, I think DeLay and his coaching staff, which I admire him as a person, him as a coach, and his staff, developing a great program here. He had that right idea. We're not even going to practice with that ball the first couple of days.
Yeah.
We're going to, and this is paying off because they are watching where they're supposed to be. Just what you were saying a minute ago, with all the different players getting involved and doing their job.
Exactly. If every individual does their job, I mean, you can tell by the score, 24-0. You know, it's a good total team defensive, stopping.
And you could tell coming in because of the two different records of the teams, chances are it's going to be somewhat lopsided. But I like DeLay's attitude. He said, as a coach and as a team, we respect everyone, but we fear no one. And they don't come out here assuming anything's going to happen for sure. They come out and just play ball as a team.
You can't walk out here before the game starts and expect a win.
Right. So now it's fourth down and about 16 for the Panthers, and they're going to punt. Cooper Bates, the multi-purpose guy, is back to the punt.
Jalen Jones
deep at his own 32. Here's the snap. Oh, it's going to be a fake. He's going to be wrapped up there by Red Huggins. Yeah, that's when you have. Oh, now there's two flags. I wonder if they got some face mask. Oh, some unnecessary celebrating after that. That's not a good thing to do. That will not sit well with the coaches at all. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So Red made a great read on that fake punt.
Goes to celebrate.
So now, here's the deal. That was a dead ball foul, so it's not going to affect possession. Lamar will still have the ball 1st and 10 because it was after the tackle.
Yeah.
Had that been more of a, like a personal foul during the play, Paschal would still have the ball 1st and 10, but it's going to be Lamar's ball now 15 yards back, so at about the 40-yard line or so, I believe.
That was a good read by Red.
It was, but you just got to kind of control your enthusiasm, especially in certain situations, and not get too cocky. And
celebrate with the scoreboards, not, you know.
So here we go, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Here's a snap. Jocelyn, quick throw to this side to Bo Log. He catches at the 32, moves across to about the 29-yard line. And it looks like numbers 4, that'd be Prodigy Williams, and number 8, Harrison Parsons, made the stop.
Williams and Parsons.
They're going to keep the clocks running as well.
1st and 10.
So Dawson takes this snap, drops back. He's got some time, throws deep toward the end zone, towards Shaw, and just overthrown. Had a couple of guys guarding him well. Looks like number 4 was one of them, possibly. Am I reading that number correctly? When those numbers wrinkled, maybe that was number 8.
Number 8.
Okay, so that's Parsons, the Parsons project. So now with the incomplete pass, the clock stops with 15 seconds to go in the half. We're going to have 3 receivers left, 1 right. Bradley in the backfield to the right of Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, throws across the middle. It's going to be caught by Shaw at the 18-yard line. That'll be a first down. The clock will stop just long enough to move it up. Now they're going to call timeout from the Vikings.
Defender was number 32. For Paschal, that's Christian Fell.
So the catch was made, and number 32, Christian Fell, though, right there to make the stop to prevent much additional yardage after the catch.
Yeah, it looks like the corners and safeties were playing way off a little bit, trying to protect against that touchdown, and Shaw kind of runs that quick little, he ran like a 12-yard stop and gained enough for the first down. So.
Seconds. Oops, your clock is rolling.
No, that's the timeout clock.
Okay. Got it. Timeout clock. Got it. Once I saw no colon in front of me.
I think it's 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So Ryan, here we go. The Vikings are going to try to see if they can get one more score before halftime. Build the kind of lead that they need to see what they can do in the second half, and we might see some other players get a chance to get some game time here. So no one's reporting a score in the North Crowley Sam Houston game.
Yeah.
Or they're just battling to a 0-0 tie so far. Okay, single receiver left, twins right. Bradley in the backfield with Dawson. Here's a snap. It's a pass to Shaw.
Dubs again.
And he's going to get out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
Yeah. And Chase Bell was defending on that as well.
2 seconds to go. Just when I thought I had Shaw and Dubs cleared in my mind, it haunts me again. Dayton Dubs, number 10, makes that catch and smartly gets out of bounds on his own. Stops the clock.
Very heads-up play by him.
Yep. So Villegas is going to come out to try a 25-yard field goal attempt.
It's on the left hash as well.
Villegas, a soccer player. Yep, there's offsides. There's the kick is up, and that's going to be good. Time expires. There will be a flag, but I don't think we're going to take points off the board on that offsides call. Maybe they didn't throw it. Yeah, they did. So 24-0 is going to be our halftime score.
Lamar 24.
Nice showing by offense, defense, and special teams by the Vikings to get this 27-0 lead, 27-0 here at the end of the first half. We're going to break away for a little bit. We'll turn up the microphone so you can hear some bands, and we'll be back in a little bit. And if we are able to, we'll even come help announce the homecoming court. Bill Frawley and Ryan DeMargo there. Joe Ryan's our producer. Tim and Darren are doing our spotting and drive charts. It's a team effort here. And Joe Toronto, we miss you tonight. We'll be back.
demonstrated patriotism at the Student Council and is a member of both the National Honor Society and the UIL accounting team. He runs cross-country, track, and plays for the Lamar baseball team. Charlie serves his community by participating in church activities, mission trips, and volunteering at Mission Arlington and local elementary schools. He is supported by his mother, Mrs. Michelle Crawley. Mr. Charlie Crawley. Our next finalist for King is Mr. King Hadawi. King is the son of Kristen and Kevin Hadawi. Hayden is best known for his position on the Lamar varsity football team. He serves as the treasurer for the Student Council, is a member of the baseball team, and participates in the highly undisputed sports club and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Hayden donates his time to the community by volunteering for the youth group at Gateway, Mission Arlington, Beautiful Feet Ministry, Arlington Optimist, and Youth Leadership Arlington. This evening, Hayden is escorted by his mother, Mrs. Kristen Hadawi. Mr. Hayden Hadawi. Mr. David Jones is our next court finalist. He is the son of Megan and Jackson Jones. Jalen shows his athleticism by playing for the Lamar varsity football team, running track and field, and playing soccer. He is a member of the highly undisputed sports club and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Jalen volunteers his time for the youth group at Gateway, Mission Arlington, and Life Church. He also serves as a volunteer referee and umpire for Arlington Optimist and the USSA baseball. Jalen's mother, Mrs. Megan Jones, is proud to escort him this evening. Mr. Jalen Jones. Our next finalist is Mr. Michael Wynn. Michael is the son of Teresa and Tang Wynn and is best known for proudly serving as our Lamar High School mascot. Michael is also a member of the varsity basketball team, Student Council, the acapella choir, and madrigal show choir. His escort this evening is his mother, Mrs. Teresa Wynn. Mr. Michael Wynn. Our next homecoming court team finalist is Mr. Caleb Phillips. Caleb is the son of Stacy and Aaron Phillips. Caleb donates his time to the community by serving on the youth group at Gateway, volunteering at Mission Arlington, and as a coach for a youth football team. He is a member of the Congressional Youth Leadership Council, Ignite, Young Life, Highly Undisputed, and FCA. Caleb participates in the photography program and serves as the division editor for the yearbook. He is also a small business owner. This evening, Caleb is escorted by his mother, Mrs. Stacy Phillips. Mr. Caleb Phillips. Our final candidate for homecoming court is Mr. Matthew Shaw. Matthew is the son of Gina and Charles Shaw. Matthew proudly plays for the varsity football team and also runs track and field. He is a member of the highly undisputed sports club, FCA, Young Life, and Ignite. Outside of school, Matthew spends time volunteering at his church and is a youth baseball assistant. He also serves on the Youth Advisory Council at Greenville Avenue Church. This evening, Matthew is escorted by his mother, Mrs. Gina Shaw. Mr. Matthew Shaw. Our first homecoming queen finalist, representing Ignite, is Miss Courtney Benn. The daughter of Paula and Tony Benn, Courtney is a varsity cheerleader, Ignite leader, senior class council vice president, and an officer of Lights for Change. Courtney is also a member of Young Life and National Honor Society. When she is not busy with her school activities, Courtney volunteers Courtney Benn. Nominated by the Lamar varsity volleyball team, our next finalist is Miss Haneen El-Sharif. Haneen has been playing volleyball for Lamar High School since she was a freshman. She is a member of the National Honor Society, the Science National Honor Society, and the Key Club. She also serves as Vice President of the Service for Student Council and is the 2017-2018 recipient of the prestigious Richard Green Scholarship. Her escort this evening is her father, Mr. Sami El-Sharif. Miss Haneen El-Sharif. The fourth corps is proud to nominate our next candidate, Miss Kate Hopkins. Kate, the daughter of Jenny Parker and Jason Hopkins, is a member of the acapella choir, Four Corps, Young Life and Ignite, and Madrigal's Show Choir. Kate's community activities include volunteering for the Beautiful Feet Ministry, Mission Arlington, and is a peer mentor for local elementary schools. Her father, Jason Hopkins, is Kate's escort this evening. Miss Kate Hopkins. Our next homecoming finalist, nominated by the Lamar High School Orchestra, is Miss Helen Halsey. Helen is the daughter of Tom and Terry Halsey and serves as president of orchestra, vice president of media for Student Council, and social chair for National Honor Society. She is also a historian for FBLA and the director of communications for View Mountain Data. Helen is a member of the Key Club, Science National Honor Society, and competes in UIL current events and spelling. In the community, Helen volunteers at Mission Arlington and mentors students at local elementary schools. She is escorted by her father, Mr. Terry Halsey. Miss Helen Halsey. Representing the pride of Lamar Band is Miss Chappelle Johnson. Daughter of Miss Deshawn Oliver, Chappelle is not only a drum major, but also a member of Lamar's jazz band, as well as president of the band. In addition, Chappelle is a member of Bikes for Change, Key Club, and National Honor Society. Outside of school, Chappelle is active in her youth group at church. Tonight, Chappelle is escorted by her mother, Mrs. Deshawn Oliver. Miss Chappelle Johnson. Nominated by Lamar Student Council, Miss Kennedy Levy. Kennedy serves as president of Student Council, Bikes for Change, and Youth Arlington Club. She is also a member of Young Life and Ignite. Outside of school, Kennedy can be seen volunteering as a peer mentor at elementary schools, volunteering for Mission Arlington, and was a 2017 Cinderella candidate, an organization that raises money for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Arlington. Kennedy is escorted by her father, Mr. Jeff Levy. Miss Kennedy Levy. Lamar's senior class brings us our next finalist, Miss Amanda McQuitty. The daughter of Greg McQuitty and the late Pam McQuitty, Amanda is our senior class president. Is a member of varsity cheer. She is a choir co-president, dance captain for the Madrigal Show Choir, and secretary for Bikes for Change. Amanda is also a member of the National Honor Society, Key Club, and played the principal role of Amber Von Tussle in Blue Curtain's production of Hairspray. When she isn't in school, Amanda serves on the youth leadership team for the First United Methodist Church of Arlington, where she has also participated in several mission trips. Amanda volunteers as an ACA Optimist cheer coach and raised money for the Boys and Girls Club of Arlington as a 2017 Cinderella candidate. Mr. Greg McQuitty, her father, is Amanda's escort this evening. Miss Amanda McQuitty. Nominated by Lamar's Color Guard, our next finalist is Miss Shauna Nella.
evening, Deshauna is escorted by her sister, Giovanni Nella. Miss Deshauna Nella. The Madrigals Show Choir nominated our next finalist, Miss Jenna Phillips. Jenna is the daughter of Mr. Tim Phillips. In addition to Madrigals, Jen is a member of the a cappella choir and serves as the historian for student council. Jenna is an officer of Lights for Change and a member of Young Life and National Honor Society. In addition to volunteering as a peer mentor for elementary school students and giving her time to Mission Arlington, Jenna also volunteers for the Boys and Girls Club. Her father, Mr. Tim Phillips, is escorting Jenna this evening. Miss Jenna Phillips. Nominated by Lamar's choral program, our final finalist is Miss Michelle Tackett. She is the daughter of Jeanette and Michael Tackett. Michelle is a varsity cheerleader, a member of both the a cappella choir and the Madrigals Show Choir. In the community, Michelle can be seen coaching classes for Stars Gymnastics. She holds leadership roles in the youth group at Christ Community Church, where she is also a member of the praise team. Her father, Mr. Michael Tackett, is proud to escort her this evening. Miss Michelle Tackett. Now arriving on the field to help crown the new Queen and King, please welcome the reigning 2016-2017 Homecoming Queen, Miss Lauren Velasco. The beautiful Miss Velasco is currently attending the University of Texas at Arlington, pursuing a double major in education and business. Lauren is escorted by our reigning Homecoming King, Mr. Colby Underwood. Colby is currently attending the University of Central Oklahoma and playing football for the UCO Broncos. After graduation, Colby plans to pursue a career as a teacher and a football coach. We're so proud of both of you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to crown this year's Homecoming King and Queen. The 2017 Lamar High School Homecoming King is Matthew Shaw. Homecoming Queen for 2017 is Miss Jenna Phillips. On behalf of the Lamar Student Council, we congratulate all the nominees, the new King and Queen, and we thank all of the Vikings who came out this year for homecoming. BFND.
week, the Vikings will face the Mark Warriors at UTA Maverick Stadium. See you there, Vikings fans. Next week will be a gold out. So be sure to wear your gold attire and show out the Viking spirit. The UTA game will be 7 p.m. Thursday night at UTA Maverick Stadium. Wear your gold, BFND. Lamar Baseball will be having a car wash fundraiser Saturday, tomorrow, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. at Bahama Bucks parking lot, 1630 East Lamar Boulevard. Hey fans, Care Now is a proud sponsor of Arlington ISD Athletics this fall. Care Now's medical centers provide convenient urgent care to families in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Visit the Arlington and Mansfield locations for all of your family medical needs. Care Now, convenience you need, the care you deserve. Our other sponsors, from shoulder pain to neck strain, bone breaks to backache, Baylor Orthopedic and Spine Hospital in Arlington has you covered. With an emergency room that's always open, you will be back in the game in no time. Visit BaylorArlington.com.
Well, welcome back to the broadcast here. Just about the end of halftime. We've just had the Paschal band play during the first part of halftime, and then we had our Lamar Viking homecoming festivities with the homecoming court and our homecoming king, Matthew Shaw, and the homecoming queen, Jenna Phillips. So congratulations to both of them for taking the crowns tonight in homecoming celebrations. The halftime score is Lamar 27, Paschal 0. It's been pretty much a one-sided affair here. The defense has been playing pretty much flawlessly. I don't have any official stats, but I'm going to say the Panthers have about 3 or 4 first downs combined from all of their drives. There's been a few 3-and-outs that the Viking defense has forced, and forced quite a few punts here. The Vikings have scored on almost all of their drives. They've had 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, including the field goal just before halftime to bring the score to 27-0. Lots of different sets we've seen, lots of different players getting involved on both sides of the ball, so a nice, well-rounded effort by the offense and the defense for Lamar tonight. The players for both teams are back out, and here come the Panthers through their inflatable Panther head tunnel, and they're back out onto the field. And now the Vikings are coming out onto the field, tearing through the Viking sign, out of the big Viking inflatable. Bobby Brown, the recent Texas A&M commit, is leading the charge with the Thor hammer. It's kind of neat there. We get to see Austin DeLay, Coach DeLay's son, carrying one of the Viking flags. So here we are back out with both teams out on the field. Just a couple of moments away from the opening kickoff. And again, Lamar executing very well in all aspects of the game. We've had great rushing, great passing, moving the ball up the middle more than usual. The Paschal team not quite as physical and large as some of the teams we face, so being able to try some different things, especially with the runs up the middle for some big yardage. And we've seen Desmond Moultrie back into the game after he was out last week. So we've seen, again, Michael Bradley, Desmond Moultrie, Jalen Jones starting in the backfield some. So lots of great things on both sides of the ball. Those linemen up front are doing a great job of breaking those holes for the Vikings. And then defensively, some great stops in the backfield at the line of scrimmage, and short gains for the most part. So the Panthers come back out onto the field. The ball is being placed on the tee. The Vikings are going to receive the opening kickoff here in the second half. We've got James Douglas and Jalen Jones deep for the Vikings. They're going to be moving left to right, north to south. If you're kind of looking at a computer screen or a phone or just picturing the football field, they'll be moving left to right. Panthers will be kicking off, defending the south end zone, moving right to left. Ball is on the tee. Here comes the kick. It is up and it's deep down towards the right side if you're looking at the field. It's going to be Jalen Jones from about the 12 across the 20 to the 23-yard line, 28-yard line. So he's going to get about 16 yards on that return out to the 28-yard line, where the Vikings will take over 1st and 10.
28-yard line.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of an approach the Vikings take here in the second half. Will they stay up tempo for a little while and kind of keep their foot on the gas at least through the third quarter? Wouldn't be surprised to see that.
They had a lot of success running, especially running up the middle. So we'll see if they can continue that momentum.
Definitely so. We're going to start off on this drive. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Dawson's going to take the snap. It's a handoff to Bradley. He comes around this way up to the 30-yard line. He breaks a tackle and he gets across the 35. So a nice start on a running play that breaks across this side to the 36-yard line.
Will Adair brought him down on that. Just forced him to the sideline.
So about a 7-yard gain.
Second down and 2.
Run the ball and keep it in bounds. Run that clock.
Yep, 8 yards on the play. Second down and 2 from the 36-yard line. All 3 receivers left, 1 right. Dawson throws to the far side. It's complete to Dubs. He breaks a tackle. He's across the field 40, 35, 30, 20, 10. Dubs, end zone, touchdown, Vikings.
That was a track, just a track run. Just right afterwards, it's a 50-yard dash to the end zone.
Little bit of a move there to break a tackle, and then he was gone to the end zone.
I told you Dubs was he can have a big night.
Yeah, not only did they connect again, but this time he took it the rest of the way. That's a 64-yard pass play for the touchdown. And now out for the extra point will be Juan Villegas with Jack Dawson holding and Cade Tresh the snapper. The ball is there down, the kick is up, and it is good. So very quickly, with less than a minute off the clock here in the third quarter, it's 34-0 in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, Dayton Dubs normally has his average is 15 yards of reception, so I guess that 64-yard reception for a touchdown kind of pads his stats a little bit.
I need him on my fantasy team this weekend. I'm having some trouble.
Well, Zeke's back in, so you can.
He's not. I don't have him.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't draft him because I thought he was going to be out most of the season.
Did you get Alfred Morris?
No, kind of like some of the stocks I pick. I think they're going to do bad. They do great.
Yeah.
Or the ones I don't pick, I should say.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't realize we had an injured player on the field after the point after. It looks like, is that number 52?
62.
62.
Jesus
Vasquez.
Let's give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
And he's walking off on the field on his own power.
Jesus
so
Diaz Vasquez.
Got a little shaken up on that extra point, it looks like.
Yep. But it's good to see him coming off under his own power.
Yeah.
And I think the 2 lady trainers are glad they don't have to help support him coming off.
I know. Another
not
offensive defensive lineman.
Yeah, not that they wouldn't do what's necessary, but...
for the Panthers, number 11, Bates, number 12.
So Villegas putting the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line on the north side. The 2 Paschal receivers are deep at their own 5.
That little kickoff fake.
Yeah. I guess one day they're actually going to kick it like that. I don't know.
Just testing.
I've probably seen them do it 77.3 times, and they've never done it. So here comes the kick. It's going to be straight down the middle of the field. It's going to be caught at the 9-yard line across the 10, 15, straight up the middle to 20. It's going to be wrapped up at about the 22-yard, maybe 23-yard line. So Bates, again, the quarterback, the punter, the kickoff return. I think I saw him. He was filling up the water jug earlier, and he was even helping a player off the field. So
wrapping an ankle.
Yeah, exactly. So that's quite an athlete and a guy with a lot of heart, Bates there.
Yeah, he takes a lot of shots throughout the game.
And a tough kid, tough player. A lot of heart there.
Deshaun Gaddy kind of chased him down as well. So
Led that tackle. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 22-yard line. 10:57 to go in the third quarter. The Vikings lead 34-0. One receiver left, one right. Under center is Bates. Takes the snap, quick handoff to the right side over the right guard, and it's going to make about maybe 3 yards. Let's see where they spot it.
looks like 58 brought him down. Yeah.
Ball carrier is 33,
Simon
James
Foster.
Farley.
And I think Farley was the carrier. You know, it's kind of hard to see when they're, unless they're facing us. The numbers
David,
are
2nd and 8.
not huge on their jerseys, but until they do face us and they're all bunched up together, it's kind of hard to see what happens.
Yeah, and they're running such a tight formation.
Yep. Farley is in the backfield again, just behind and to the left of Bates, who's under center. Man in motion behind. Bates is back. He throws over to the man in motion, the flat at the 20-yard line. Not much room to run. He's going to get to about the 25-yard line.
It's maybe half a yard past the line of scrimmage. So.
And now, you know what? They didn't blow that dead for a while. It looked like it was stopped, but they let him keep going, and he drove for another 2 or 3 yards, Ryan.
Yeah, his line got behind him and kind of pushed it.
And
pushed the pile.
that again is the kind of heart you like to see. That's number 25, Matthew, and I hope I say this right, Bachand, B-A-C-H-A-N-D. What a guy, because he caught that ball, broke kind of one tackle, then he looked like he was stopped, but he pushed and drove for another 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, didn't give up.
3rd down and 4th to 28. Fake pitch. Bates keeps it. He's got some trouble in the backfield, and he's going to be fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage where it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, he was wrapped up by number 47, Jeffrey High.
Jeffrey High, number 47, number 20.
Kind of chased him down from the back.
Cade Tresh got in there a little bit on that action too. So now it's a 4th and 4 for the Panthers at their own 28-yard line.
I'll bring up a punt by Bates.
Yep.
Jalen Jones back deep to
Jalen
receive
Jones
that
deep
too.
for Lamar. Bates to punt.
So Jalen Jones will be standing at about his own 43-yard line. The snap is a little high. He gets the kick barely away. The ball rose from the 43-yard line down to about the 34, where it looks like it's down.
Yeah, that was almost blocked by Douglas.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to blocking one of those punts.
Yeah. Yeah, they're putting some pressure on that punter, Bates, right there. I mean,
definitely so.
They're almost there. They can feel the wind of his foot.
And we've had a couple blocked this season. I know Hadawi has blocked at least one.
Tresh, I think, has blocked one.
I think Tresh has gotten a piece of one also. Yep, those two same guys are the headhunters on defense and quite the guys on special teams as well.
Yeah.
So the Vikings are going to start 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Twins right, single receiver left. One in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Looks like Bradley. He gets to the 35, to the 40, 45, 50. The race is on. 40. He's gone. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bradley.
Very quick back-to-back scores.
Yeah, and, you know, here's the deal, Ryan. You can't really say to run up the score. That was a run play. The other play was a pass to the flat. They threw it east, and then it was basically a running play after that. So,
a couple missed tackles, and they're off to the races.
Yep.
You know.
So that's going to bring the score to Lamar 40, Paschal 0. Waiting for the point after attempt here.
Jesus is kind of hustling out there on the field. Good to see him back on the field after that injury.
Exactly. And he trotted out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think someone said, hey, get out there. Here's the snap. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good right between the uprights. And the score now 41-0 in favor of the Vikings. 8:29 to go.
So it was just a one-play, real quick run, and it was right up the middle kind of, and then he just broke it to the outside, and the wide receivers making good blocks. Everybody on their blocks stayed on him, and he was off to the races. There's no catching him. 64 or 66-yard play, and I think the passing that went out to the flat was a 64. Yeah, it was 64.
So both those right in that same distance.
Yeah. So we got about 130 yards of offense in two plays
this half. Yeah. So Juan Villegas is going to come out for another kickoff. He's perfect on kickoffs tonight, by the way. Hadn't hit one out of bounds yet.
Bates and Bell back deep to receive. Oh, and there's the fake.
Yep, the little stutter fake thing. One day, eternal hope. I know it's going to happen. Maybe against Martin next week.
Yeah, they might have been saving it for the end of the year.
Okay, well, here comes the kickoff. It is up. It's a bit of a pooch kick. Fair catch called at the 35, and wisely so, because guess who? Deshaun Gaddy was bearing down on him.
He's another head hunter. Johnny Roberts was very smart in that play. Just fair catch it and
from their own 30.
live to fight another day.
That's right. So the Panthers are going to start off with the ball at their own 25. Well, let's see. Got a line judge at the 26. Got one at the 25. The ball's at the 25.
25-yard line, the line of scrimmage.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers there. I see Jaron Roseman in that nose guard position, still up front.
Yeah, he's been battling all night. Been doing a really good job.
Panthers have one receiver left, one right. Bates under center, man in motion behind him. It's a handoff up the middle, and he's going to get about a yard before he stopped in forward progress and then pushed backwards, but they'll get the 1 yard gain.
Yeah, Javion Moore sniffed that play out almost immediately and was right there in the hole just to block it off, and he was only able to gain 1 yard, so brings up 2nd and 9.
Gain of 1 yard, 2nd and 9 from the 26.
So 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers. Clock rolling with 8:01 to go in the 3rd quarter.
12 seconds left in the play clock.
One receiver left, one right. Bates under center. No one really behind him. He keeps it, I believe, and goes up the middle, and he might get a yard. And that's about it looks like.
Bates up the middle.
Yeah, there's Roseman fighting for that tackle right there.
Yep, Jaron Roseman right there.
Gain of 2.
Nice play.
3rd down, 7.
So 3rd down and 7 now for the Panthers at their own
28-yard line.
28-yard line, trying to get to the 35
Defense
for the first down, in case you're not quick with the math. Kind of help you out there if you're picturing this in your mind. Bates under center, one receiver right, one left. Man in motion behind him. He drops back. He throws. It's batted down by James Douglas immediately. Bates turned to throw over to this flat, and Douglas right there like a big oak tree.
Yeah, you're either going to get a sack or he was going to knock down that pass, because he was a big body right in front of Bates, and
4th down, 7.
Bates very intelligently just throws it.
Yeah.
It's going to set up a Bates punt now to
Bates
Jalen
in the
Jones.
punt. Jones deep.
Jalen Jones standing at his own 45-yard line. This is kind of a consistent theme here. The snap a little bit high. The finally is blocked, and it's going to go out of the end zone for a safety, I believe.
Yep.
And I think,
Blocked, safety.
was it number 10? Was it Dubs? Yeah, Dubs was the one that blocked it.
Yep.
Blocked by Dubs.
Dayton Dubs.
Keep on getting closer and closer.
Yep. And so that's going to add 2 points to make the score 43-0 after the safety. And as most people probably know, what will happen next is the Panthers get a chance. It's called the free kick. They'll kick it from their own 20-yard line, either off of a tee or a punt, their choice. So nice. Dayton Dubs, now we've seen him do some good catches on offense, and now he's got the special teams play. So we've seen, I think, at least 3 Vikings block punts this year.
Yep. 3 different Vikings all sharing block punts.
It'll be 1st and 10 wherever it's going to be.
So 6:57 left to play. Now the Vikings have scored every way you can except for the 2-point conversion. And I don't really anticipate one of those coming up tonight with the margin the way it is. But the single extra points, the safety, a couple of field goals, and
We're not marked.
some touchdowns.
We won't
Yeah, we
go for
don't
2
don't go
points
for 2 every play.
if we're up by 43.
Yeah,
For Lamar,
seeing that happen.
Yeah, or keep on onside kicking it.
Yeah.
So
I watched one of those games over at AT&T Stadium, and there was a doubleheader, and Martin played before we did. And
off of a tee.
so they're going to kick off of a tee from the 20-yard line on the free kick. We've got 2 Vikings deep at our own 30-yard line. Number
Kicking number
2,
82, Charles McGill.
number 82, Charles McGill, is going to do the kicking off the tee. He's going to kick it down towards, it's going to be caught at the 38-yard line by Douglas. He's across the 45, changes direction, breaks the tackle, breaks the second tackle, and he's in midfield and gets to the 49-yard line inside Panther territory. So somewhere in the range of about a 14-yard, 13-yard return. I believe he had it about the 38, got to the 49. So the 51-yard line, if you're doing that kind of math, but about 13 yards.
The Lamar 51-yard
Yeah.
line.
Hey, my mind works like that sometime, and I'm guessing there might be one other person in the world whose mind it is, and they might be listening.
1st and 10 from the Lamar 51.
Thank you, Jay Ryan. In case you couldn't hear it, Jay Ryan is humoring me with the call of over the loudspeakers, 1st and 10 to 51.
Just checking to see if the fans are paying attention.
And I'm trying to see, I don't think anyone turned around and looked. They're all on their phones or talking to them. Oh, meanwhile, we've got a football game going on. Hand off to Jalen Jones. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
And he's not brought down yet, but
They're going to say his forward progress stopped.
right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
Yep, still at the 51-yard line. 49-yard line, for those who want to take this game seriously. The 49-yard line in Panther territory. 2nd down and 10.
It's our last home game. Why not have
That's right.
a little bit of fun with it?
Twins left, single right. Got 2 in the backfield with Dawson. Here's a snap. He hands off to Moultrie, goes to the left side, around the end, across the 50 to the 45-yard line. So he gets about 4 yards, and that's going to set up 3rd down and about 6. Number 91, Andrew Landeros,
Yes.
made the tackle.
Yeah, brought him down by his jersey,
Third
just
down,
barely.
6.
So Moultrie having some more runs here tonight. Play being called in from the sideline. Dawson tells everyone they break the huddle. Trips right, single receiver left. Looks like Moultrie again in the backfield with Dawson. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back, throws to this side, deep to Baylog, who, wobbles it.
Had it.
Now, I'll tell you, number 4 for the Panthers, Prodigy Williams, had some pretty good coverage, but that ball was in Baylog's hands, and it was his to catch and just bobbled it. And
Yeah.
so,
Just
4th
barely.
down and 6.
good attempt, good try, but now it's 4th down and 6, and it looks like the Vikings are going to come out, and Caden Hadawi, who was in the homecoming court,
Caden Nader.
the Cadenator, he'll come out to punt. Number 12 is deep for the Panthers. That's Chase Bell. He's at his own 15-yard line. Now Hadawi stands 10 yards deep instead of some of the punters 15 yards deep to take the snap. That's a pass. It's a fake. It's to Jalen Jones across the 40, 35-30, 25-20. He's not out of bounds yet. 25, touchdown, Vikings.
Told you about that fake. He was battling for quarterback position. He can throw the ball, and he throws the ball and connects with Jalen Jones, which they've done for a long time. And
You called it earlier. You let us know that might happen. Sure enough.
but there is a flag on the field.
Uh-oh.
Flag on the field.
Now it's down during the run, or after the catch. So it looks like it's going to be holding against the Vikings.
Against Lamar, the indication is declined.
Holding.
Oh, there were 2 holding penalties. So what Paschal's going to do, they're going to take the one that was further back because it's a spot foul. So there were 2 holding calls. And it looks like the penalty's going to be marked off starting at the,
From the spot of the foul.
well, let's see where it is. I don't want to guess.
Yeah, it looks like at the 33.
Okay, so that'll come 10 yards back. So no touchdown, but it's still enough after the run, the catch and run for, I believe it should be.
No. It's
4th down
4th and
So
4.
it will be 4th and
4.
4 at the 43-yard line.
So they negated the touchdown but gained 2 yards.
Okay, well,
Unfortunately.
Hadawi back again in punt formation.
But hey, it
But
worked last time.
We've got stacked receivers on this side.
They're going to be watching for it though.
Yep, I think we're going to see the actual kick, and he does kick it away. A nice high kick, and it's well placed. It's fair caught at the 5-yard line. And Deshaun Gaddy was right there, just about as close as you can get without invading that halo.
37
So a beautiful punt by Hadawi this time.
Yep.
The nice pass on the fake before, but that's a nicely spotted punt. And that's one of these things that I'm going to say that's easier said than done, because as many times as college, pros, or high school, you see a punt go into the end zone, somehow he put that ball right where it needed to be.
Right at the 5-yard line. Gave special teams a chance. The kid had to fair catch it because he had all of his defenders around him ready to make that play.
Yeah, and if he had not caught it, I think Deshaun Gaddy was going to be able to down it before it went in the end zone.
Exactly.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 5-yard line. The Vikings lead 43-0, 5:12 to go in the third quarter.
Pins him back deep.
One receiver left, one right. Bates under center. Man in motion behind him. Bates is, no, it's number 10, I believe, is the quarterback now. My mistake. So number 10, Elliott
10.
Titus.
Titus.
He's the other quarterback. So he is in now for this drive. He kept the ball and went around the right tackle and made no gain.
No
Back
gain.
to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 at the 5-yard line.
2nd down and 10. Once again, quarterback is number 10, Elliott Titus.
Another tight formation. Titus under quarterback, under center. And it
Titus
looks like he's going to keep it.
Keeps it, and he's going to get nowhere.
Again.
You know, in there coming off the pile, Jaron Roseman,
Yep.
and his helmet is off, so he'll have to come out for a play. That's Roseman. And James Douglas was up there, and then number 61 for the Vikings. That's Dalen Franklin was up there on the line of scrimmage defensively to make that stop. So 3rd down and 10 at the 5-yard line. The Panthers trying to move the ball at least a few yards upfield to give maybe the punter a little bit more room if that's what they have to end up doing. But it is 3rd down and 10.
They're going to go twins to the right now. Everybody's checking their play.
So it looks like they're setting up for a possible pass play. Elliott Titus, the quarterback now. He's got one in the backfield behind him. He keeps it over the right guard,
Titus
and he's going to
runs
move
in the
about 3 yards to the 8-yard line, it looks like.
Yep.
And now coming off the pile, I see number 35 and number 9 for the Vikings in on that tackle, partly. That'd be Jacob Erickson and number 9, Jordan Mercado.
Mercado and Erickson on the stop.
They're going to punt
It's
it
4th
away.
down.
And it looks like Bates is back out there to punt.
Now,
So we
Bates
should
in
bring in
punt.
Jalen Jones.
Jalen
Yes.
Jones deep
Yep.
for Lamar.
and I'm going to just kind of surmise, forecast, bet, guess, whatever. We're not going to put a lot of pressure and try to block one here. I'm just thinking with a 43-0 lead. I could be mistaken.
And
The punt is up.
Yeah.
Not a lot of pressure.
Not
It's
as
going to
much.
hit at the 32 and roll pretty good. Jones picks it up at the 45, breaks a tackle, then he's met at the 50.
Jalen Jones.
And
still
number-
couldn't bring him
by
down
number
though.
1, Jimmy
Yep.
Strange, number 31.
So number 1, Jimmy Strange, and number 31, Givani Rhodes, make the stop.
They're going to mark him
So-
down at the 48.
8.
Yep.
Let's
So it'll be
see.
1st and 10 at the
It'll be
48.
1st and 10, Lamar at the Paschal 52.
Oh, I love the Jay Ryan, who enjoys having fun like the rest of us do. Where's the football ball, Jay?
It's out there.
The football ball is spotted at the 48-yard line inside Viking territory, where it'll be 1st and 10
1st and 10.
for Lamar.
Keep track. We might have changes in our players. Darren. Okay. You get a little closer. Looks like it's still.
Looks like twins to the right, single receiver to the
A
left.
handoff to Moultrie. He's going to be stopped in the backfield.
Is brought
takes the
down
handoff,
immediately.
loss of a yard.
Looks like number 91 made the stop, and that's going to be Andrew Landeros.
2nd down.
Number
11.
64 was there for Paschal as well. Unfortunately, we don't have a name for him. It might have been 54, Santana Bengal.
So now it's going to be 2nd down and 11 for the Vikings at their own 47-yard line. Got Moultrie in the backfield. Moultrie takes the handoff. He goes over the left guard, pushes his way back
Moultrie
to
in the middle.
the 49-yard line, it looks like. So they'll give him a gain of 2, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Number 8 made the stop for the
Parsons
Panthers.
making the stop.
Harrison Parsons.
3rd down and 9 from the 49.
Their run's kind of stalling out right now.
Yep, we've got 2 receivers right, 1 left. Yeah, the previous up the middle run not being as successful. Moultrie takes it, and he's going to, Douglas takes the handoff, and he's going to come this way and not get anywhere. He'll be stopped for a loss back at the 47-yard line. So a loss of 2 after the gain of 2 sets up 4th and 11. So all of a sudden, Paschal has found an answer to Lamar's running game.
Rhodes, number 32, fell.
So Caden's back there
4th down, 11.
to punt. Oh, no, we're going to make a punter change, and we're going to bring in Dayton Dubs to
12,
punt.
Chase Bell,
Who's done a fair amount of punting this season also.
Yeah, he's a soccer player and a track.
And he gets about 2 yards further back than Caden does,
Yep.
closer to that traditional 15 yards. He takes it, rolls this way, does the rugby style kick. It's a nice kick that's caught at the 15-yard line. He bobbles it, picks it back up, and Deshaun Gaddy makes sure he doesn't go anywhere. Cade Tresh down there also on the coverage.
covers his own fumble.
Javante Kemp around there.
38-yard punt.
38-yard punt, basically no return.
Paschal.
Nice little hang time by Dayton Dubs on the punt.
Yeah.
Deshaun Gaddy, Cade Tresh, Javante Kemp all down there to make that stop.
Yeah, Deshaun Gaddy's just out there headhunting, just wanting to lay a big hit down. So he's doing a really good job out there.
The ball is at the
football ball.
The football ball is at the 14-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers in their own territory. 55 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
We got twins.
Elliott Titus is the quarterback again.
For the Panthers.
He's got 1 in the backfield. And it looks like there might have been some confusion on what the play was supposed to be. As the play clock was winding down, the Panthers called timeout. They've got 2 more left in the second half. Lamar hasn't used any of their timeouts. And Ryan, this is it's funny, I was just about to say, this is a pretty clean play game. And just like that, Tim comes up with the penalties for the game. Paschal has 1 15-yard penalty on pass interference. It was accepted. And then Lamar has a 5-yard illegal substitution penalty and a 10-yard holding penalty. So 15 yards and penalties for each team.
Pretty clean game.
It is. And I like it when that's not a big part of the game. That's not helping to really decide stuff. It's,
Exactly.
They're out there playing ball and having fun with it. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers, again at their own 14-yard line.
Can't change it.
So we got number 33, James Farley, is in the backfield.
Don't be confused with Frawley.
That's right. Titus throws across to the side. It's
Just barely intended for Gianni Roberts.
and exactly a sideways pass, a little bit further back, and it would have been a backwards pass on a live ball, but it did go out of bounds anyway. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10.
So a quick 2-step drop back, I guess, by Elliott, threw over to Farley, but the incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10. Titus up under center. 1 receiver left, 1 right. Man in motion behind him. He throws over to the flat on the far side. It's caught, but it's popped out. And I guess
That wasn't intended and caught by Roberts, but as soon as he caught that ball, it was popped out, and it was 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, so he lost it
that was so
on a
quick.
fumble.
That was so quick. I didn't know if he really caught it, or if that was an incomplete pass. So it was a live ball. It was a complete pass. Now it's 3rd down and 11.
Titus was very smart on that play and covered up.
He kept his head in the game and knew what was going on. He steps back. He looks left. Now he has to run right. There's nowhere to go. He's wrapped up, and he's going to be stopped at the far side of the field at about the line of scrimmage.
It looks like Cade Trish and
Joseph Vaughn.
And Mercado, I believe, is that number 9?
Frank
Yeah, Jordan Mercado also helped out on that too.
Ricardo all in on the
that
stop.
brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Lamar is up 43. Fort Worth Paschal Panthers are at 0. Any
Well,
key takeaways? this quarter?
The only thing I've really seen notable, and it's a good notable for Paschal, they've stopped our running game on that on the previous drive, I should say. We had the 2 quick scores at the beginning of the quarter. One, the pass out to the far flat, then the run, and then the other just a run down the field, 60-something yards. But on the last drive that we had, they stopped us up the middle, and then around the end. So that's kind of my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, they were definitely getting in the backfield immediately. So it's unfortunately.
Also late in the third quarter.
It's a good drive. I mean, we've had 2 quick scores. We had the 64-yard run, the 64-yard pass to Dayton Dubs, and then the 66-yard run real quick. So.
Now some scores that are going on elsewhere in the district tonight. Martin leads Arlington High 20-14 with 4 minutes left in the third. North Crowley, they finally have a score up 14-0 over Sam Houston at halftime. And Mansfield leading Bowie 48-7, 5:20 to go in the third. So now to begin the fourth quarter, Bates is going to punt from his own 2-yard line. It's a good kick up in the air, fielded by Jalen Jones at the 46. He goes backwards back into the Viking territory. He's going to be stopped at the 50-yard line. So it looks like a -6 yards on the return.
-6 return. Number 12 making the stop.
And I like the guts. I mean, he could have done fair catch, could just taken it, but he tried to make some happen.
We do have some cheese on the broccoli out there.
Or some flags after the play. Good eye, Ryan.
Looks like a little bit from both. Yeah, might be getting a little chippy out there. And yeah, we got one referee's hat came off.
Well, I think, did he throw that as a second flag?
Yeah.
So we got unsportsmanlike against the Vikings.
Unsportsmanlike against Lamar.
Unsportsmanlike against both teams.
Mm-hmm.
So those penalties offset. And it looks like we will have the Viking 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Penalties offset.
So should we put a flag down for both sides again? So
looking like
is there going to be 15-yard penalties each way?
Yeah, right.
So that would be 30 on Paschal and
30 on us, but they weren't accepted, so it's no penalty yardage in the stats.
Yeah.
So still 15 yards each.
They had ejections.
Oh, on the other team? Both on Paschal?
Paschal and Lamar.
Okay, so one of the guys up here running the clock saying it looks like there was an ejection for each team. One player on each team was ejected through all of that, along with the unsportsmanlike penalties.
There was an ejection on each team.
a disqualification.
And the difference is, in college, it's a ejection. In high school, it's a disqualification.
They don't eject in high school football. They disqualify.
Is that so they don't have to have a hearing in Austin or something? All right, well, after all of that, it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 50-yard line.
Handoff to Matthew Shaw.
Matthew Shaw comes this side and makes a sharp turn up the field across the 50 to the 47-yard line in Panther territory.
Taking the stop.
So he gains about 3 yards, brings up 2nd down and 7. Now, Hadawi is in at quarterback on this drive, giving Jack Dawson a break with the big lead. So giving Hadawi some playing time there.
In the shotgun.
Here's the snap. It's over to his left. He bobbles it. He picks it back up, and now he's in trouble in the backfield.
Now he's sacked.
And he's going to take a big loss on that play. He couldn't even get rid of it, really, because there was nowhere to throw it. And then we've got an injured player for the Panthers on the field.
Injured player on the field. Also number
Wow, so the snap was high and to Hadawi's left.
Yep.
It was almost picked up by the man in motion coming around from that way, but Hadawi had to pick it back up. And then he was just scrambling to see what he could try to get away from.
Exactly.
He's up and moving.
Now, saw number 80 or 91 remove his helmet, but he's for the Panthers. He put it back on, but I don't think you're allowed to do that when you're on the field. But no one says anything.
Billy Thompson barely got over to the sideline where he sits back down.
So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 21 from their own 39-yard line for the Vikings. So let's see what the 3rd and 21 play is here.
Jalen Jones in that tailback as well.
And now he takes the good snap. He steps back, throws over to this side to Dubs.
Dubs on the catch.
Dubs is finally brought out of bounds by Parsons.
And he gets back to the 48 inside Viking territory, so a gain of about 9 yards, and it's going to be 4th and 12. And so now Dubs comes in to punt. Hadawi comes back off the field. Number 12 is going to be deep for the Panthers. That's Chase Bell.
Bell deep for the Panthers.
And we'll see if someone can chase Bell after he catches the ball. Dubs gets the kick away. It's a nice high kick that goes and hits at the 21-yard line and rolls all the way down to
it was down.
Yeah.
It hit a Viking player at the 19.
Good eye.
But unfortunately, he was also pushed into that in the back. So
1st and 10, Paschal. From their own 19.
Paschal will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Nice punt by Dubs.
Yeah, he's a great soccer star, so I knew he could kick the ball.
So now we play soccer.
All right, so Bates is back in as quarterback. He hands it off to number 29, who goes around the left end across the 20-yard line to about the 23, maybe 24. He gets about 5 yards on that play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Panthers.
2nd down and 5. 24-yard line, the line of scrimmage.
It's that tight formation again. Timeout
Timeout
Lamar.
called by the Vikings.
So it leaves 2 timeouts for Lamar and 2 timeouts for the Panthers.
Next week, the Vikings will face the Martin Warriors at UTA Maverick Stadium Thursday night at 7 p.m. We hope to see you there.
So next week's final game of the season, Ryan, is over at UTA's Maverick Stadium against the Martin Warriors.
They're not playing at Cravens this year?
They've played 1 or 2 games here, but they're playing some of the games at UTA. I was up here to watch a volleyball game on a Friday night a couple of weeks ago, and I saw Martin play here. But that might have been because Arlington High had a Friday night game. But I don't know why this one became a Thursday night game. It's kind of interesting what they're doing. AISD owns 2 stadiums in town, Cravens Field here and Wildman Field across town, and then they have leased the UT Stadium. I think there's only been 1 year where that didn't happen here recently, and I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future with that. Back to live action coming out at 9:35 to go in the game. 2nd and 5 for the Panthers at their own 24-yard line. 2 receivers on this side. Bates steps back. He throws over to this corner. He's got number 13 open. He catches it, takes a shot by Deshaun Gaddy, holds on to it, and that's a great play. Yeah, great pass and great catch by number 13, Gianni Roberts. So all the way to the 45-yard line inside Viking territory.
They're going to keep
about a 31-yard play there.
They're going to keep the clock rolling as well. It's 9 minutes, 10 seconds left in the 4th.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers inside Viking territory. Bates under center as the quarterback. Man in motion behind him. He steps back, throws across the middle, slant pattern, and that's caught at about the 38-yard line.
By 14, Nick
Balandrin. That's what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Kind of like the names in the Bible. I've just learned if you just say it confidently, everyone thinks you're right. So we'll say Balandrin made the great catch there. Pass over the middle. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 3. Looks like. Under center again. Man in motion behind him. Bates steps back. He's going to pass over to this side. It's overthrown. Number 20.
Parnell was intended.
Sean Parnell. Just overthrown those. Kind of a quick play.
Yeah, looks like Katie Trash was there as well, so he would have
from the 38-yard line.
Put a pretty good hit on him.
Brings up third down and 3 for the Panthers at the Viking 38-yard line, trying to get to the 35. One receiver left, one right. Bates under center, takes the snap, keeps it over the left, or excuse me, the right guard. He's going to get maybe a yard and a half.
2 yards.
And that's going to bring up 4th and about 1.
Yep.
So I'm going to guess they may try to go for it here.
Yep.
And it looks like they're, now of course remember Bates is their punter and their quarterback, or starting quarterback. We've seen Titus in here a little bit. So 4th down and, well,
About a yard and a half.
yeah, somewhere in that range, almost 2. We've got one receiver left, one right. Now the Vikings are bringing some more defenders up to the line of scrimmage.
They're going to blitz the line, and they're gonna watch for that quarterback keeper. So they're going to try
Play clock down to 4 to 3, and now they're going to have to call a timeout to avoid the delay of game. Maybe that was,
Timeout called by the
I
pass
don't know if that was designed somehow. They were just looking over for the play.
Yeah, it looks like they were waiting on the play to come in, and it was coming in really slow, so it looks like the offensive coordinator is kind of going through and debating on what he should play, trying to look at the defense, see what they're going to line up as, so he can base his play off of that. But it looked like Lamar was stepping up to the line and trying to fill in all the gaps and trying to give them nowhere to run up the middle.
Looks like the ball is spotted at the 37-yard line, and it looks like it's 4th and about 2.
No, those are cameras. Those are end zone cameras. On those poles? Yeah, those are
So one receiver left, one right. Bates will come up under center. Nope, now it's number 11 back out there, so that's going to be, yeah, I'm sorry, it's Bates, yeah. Got myself confused for a second.
Bates under center, 4th down and a long one.
It's like Lamar's crabbing up the line pretty good. Man
He
in
steps
motion.
back, he rolls out this way to bootleg. He's got, he fumbles the ball. No, they're going to say he was down. I think what happened is he got tackled. He tried to reach the ball out.
Tried to force the
And-
ball. Yep. And it looks like he just barely got back to the line of scrimmage and not much
Yeah,
further.
with his
so-
reach, I think he got part of that long yard. But either way, the ball goes over on downs. And let's just see where they spot it.
Yeah, it goes back over. It goes back to Lamar for turns over on down.
36-yard line.
Yep,
First
36 yards on. So he picked up most of the yard.
Yeah.
He couldn't quite reach for the first down.
Yeah, he couldn't
Good
do that
effort.
extra, that 3/4 that he needed.
I'll tell you what, Cooper Bates is showing a lot of heart, even in tough situation like the score is. He's not giving up. He was reaching to try to keep the ball in possession for Panthers.
They're definitely fighting to the end. They're not quitting on anything, not on any play at all that we've seen. So they're doing a great job, even though the score.
Here's the snap. Hadawi hands it off to Moultrie up the middle, 45, 40, 50.
Jalen Jones.
Jalen Jones. I
With
saw
a
the 20,
touchdown.
10-5, touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Jones on the 64-yard run.
64 and 66. I guess 64 is a lucky number.
I guess so.
It's 2 touchdowns for 64
Wow.
yards.
So 49-0, waiting for the point after. And Juan Villegas is going to be out here with Jack Dawson, the holder.
Villegas to point.
Cade Tresh will come out for the snap.
Smile. Juan Villegas to attempt the point after.
Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is
Good.
good. I had to hesitate a little bit. It looked like it veered a little bit right, but
Yeah,
it looks like plenty of room in there. So the score now,
It's got a plenty
50-0.
7:12 remaining. Lamar 50, Panthers 0. Looks like
Charlie, so Jay Ryan, you can't hear him on our microphones, talking about my son Charlie Frawley carrying the lead flag the Stuco officers run with down after a score, and saying he looks like and runs like a Ferrari, and he is fast. He can run the 3-mile cross-country meet in about 17 minutes at his peak performance. I can run a mile in about 17 minutes. And that's including taking a break at the fridge.
I get passed by the ball walkers.
Yeah. So Charlie runs cross country in the fall and plays baseball and runs track both in the spring. Runs the bases for the baseball team sometimes, then runs the mile and such in the for the track team. So interesting athletic career that he has going on.
And a little
There's the old stutter step fake kick that didn't happen, and Villegas and everyone steps back now. 7:12 to go in the game, 50-0, the lead for the Vikings. And here comes the kick. Down the field to the close hash mark. In and out of the hands of the receiver, and he picks it up and then downs it. He had 3 Vikings pressing down on him who were saying, hey, we saw you touch that ball. Get on the field to play, so you got to do something with it.
It'll be 1st and 10 Paschal at their own 25-yard line.
Bell barely grabbed the ball as his knee hit the ground because he was coming up. And,
he barely genuflected with that right knee, I believe, touching the ground just briefly.
Yeah.
So now the Panthers have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They had a pretty decent drive on their last possession, but it just stalled out. Yep. So we'll see what they do here.
Quarterback is Elliot Titus.
So Elliot Titus is back in at quarterback for the Panthers. He hands off to number 20, gets across the 25 to the 30, 35. He's got some room, 45, and he is dragged down by number 27.
Sean Parnell.
And that's Cavano Green, and Cavano Green's helmet came off, so he'll have to come out of the game for a play. But a nice play there. 24 yards on the run to the 49-yard line.
Number 27, Cavano Green.
And that'll be a 1st and 10. Cavano Green.
Cavano Green on the stop.
So Titus, the quarterback again. He pitches it to number 25, who comes around across the 50 to the 45 to the 40, and he gets dragged out of bounds by number 28.
25's the ball carrier.
And that's
Paschal.
Terrence Heisch.
We've got some different players in the game now.
Yeah.
25's getting up real gingerly.
And that was number 25 that took the handoff. That's Matthew Paschal. Is how I'm going to say it.
Another first
Hope
down
it's
for the
correct.
Panthers at the
Just roll with
34-yard
it.
line after
Just
a
roll with it.
12-yard gain.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Viking 34-yard line. They're having some success now with the running game. Again, with different faces in there defensively for the Vikings.
And nope, miscommunication there.
Yep.
And Titus takes the ball up for about a
Titus
2-yard gain.
Keeps
It
the
looks
ball.
like Townsend was in there for
Yeah.
the lead on the stop. Jaron Roseman also there to help kind of contain.
Townsend on the stop.
So now Titus,
Second
the
down
quarterback,
and
number
eight.
33 is behind him. That's Farley.
From the 32.
Man in motion. Titus throws across to the far side over there. It's complete to number 14. That's going to be Balandrin.
Balderan.
And he's going to get to the 27-yard line.
Brings up
Play
third,
on the stop.
about 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, about 2
Yeah,
and a half.
third and about
Down
three.
to 3. The 27.
They're having a little bit of success with all the new faces in that defense.
It's going to be a handoff. He comes over to the end over here around. He's going to get across the 25-yard line to right at the first down marker.
Sean, number 25.
The 20
Handoff.
4-yard line, maybe 23.5-yard line, but that'll be a first down.
24-yard
Clock
line.
rolling,
First
almost
and 10
5-minute mark here. Ball's at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Panthers in Viking territory. Titus comes up under center. He's got 2 receivers right, 1 left. He pitches it. It's going to come around this side to the 25 to the 21-yard line.
Pitch to Paschal.
That's going to be about a 3-yard gain.
Gain of
Sean's
about
having some
3,
pretty good
2nd and
success
7.
running the ball right now with them
21-yard
pitches.
line.
Number 61, Dalen Franklin, was in on that tackle, as well as, I believe, number 21, Javante Kemp.
Franklin and Kemp making the stop.
2nd down
Second
and
and
about 7 at the 21-yard line. Man in motion. He looks like he's going to throw. Now he's under pressure, and he's not going to get rid of
Sacked.
it. Number 35 was chasing him down and had the first contact. Is it number 31 that finished him off?
Titus.
Erickson brought down by Kenneth Carter and
Javon Moore
as well. And Erickson as
So
well.
And Erickson
a nice
also.
play there defensively. I thought he was going to be able to get rid of that ball, but he didn't have anywhere he could throw without
Loss
it
of
getting
4
batted
yards.
down.
Third
So
down,
loss on the
11.
play. Third down and 11 for the Panthers at the Viking 25-yard line. They've got to get to the 14. He's got 2 receivers right, 1 left. Takes a snap, steps back, fakes a throw. Now he's going to throw toward the goal line, and it's going to be
Gaddy.
picked off by Deshaun Gaddy at the 2. Goes into the end zone, comes back at the 5, the 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. Gaddy's got a blocker, gets tripped up at the 50-yard line, rolls into Paschal territory, and let's see where they mark him
Into Paschal
down.
territory.
What a nice catch. It was not the best thrown ball, but Gaddy was in the perfect spot to pick that off, became the receiver.
39-yard line.
And now we got
Now there's a
penalty.
flag thrown.
Flag on the play.
And is the flag in the coach?
Yeah, he's flagging Billy Skinner right
58
now.
yards on the return.
What did Skinner say
It's
something?
a dead ball foul.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Was he out on the field too far?
Against Lamar.
So,
From the 39
okay, so we're going to call that about a 60-yard return. I think he picked it at the 1, went backwards a little bit, but came back 60 yards to the 39-yard line. Now the 15-yard penalty called against Coach Skinner on the sideline,
First and 10, Lamar.
and the ball will be 1st and 10 at the 46 back inside Viking territory.
Looks like it might have been on red for maybe a little taunting or something.
Oh.
It was the coach on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the
Hand
snap.
off to
He's going to
86.
hand off to number 86. That's going to be Mark Solis. He's going to be tackled in the backfield as he tries to go around the far end. And it looks like number 91 was leading the
Loss
tackle.
of 5 yards
Andrew
on the play. Back
Landeros.
to the 41-yard line.
Number 72 in there on the tackle.
72, Harrison Good, the tackle.
Harrison Good. Good play by
Second down,
Good there.
15.
Second
heads
down.
up.
Yeah. So 2nd and 15 now for the Vikings at their own 41-yard line. Clock at 2:40 and rolling. Twins left, single right. Hadawi the quarterback. Takes the snap. It's to hand off to Moultrie. He goes to the right side, but he's going to be taken down in the backfield for a loss of about
Loss
2
of 2
yards
Moultrie
to the
takes the
39-yard
handoff.
line.
Yeah, Rhodes met him at the behind the line of scrimmage immediately,
Rhodes, number 44.
coming around that edge. He's a outside linebacker, so
They don't have a Anderson, number 44 on the stop.
looks like Anderson, number 44, helping out on the stop as well.
And Anderson's a popular name sometimes. So coming up on 2 minutes to go in the game. 3rd down and 17 for the Vikings at their own 39-yard line.
8 seconds left on the play clock.
Twins left, single right. Hadawi the quarterback. Takes a snap. Handoff to Moultrie. He comes toward this side looking for a hole. Doesn't have one.
Moultrie.
Not much of a block. And now he's tackled
Down
back at the
32, fell.
38-yard line.
28, Garcia.
Fell and Garcia on the tackle. And there's a good sign of sportsmanship. Number 91 from the Panthers helping number 22 on our team get his shoulder pad tucked back in his jersey.
Cedric Davis.
Yeah, this is kind of a nice deal there.
Yeah.
It's 4th
Instead
down.
of chipping us and
Yeah.
kind of messing with each other, helping each other out. So Hadawi's in punt formation, standing at his own 27-yard line. Takes a snap, rolls right, gets the kick away. He gets run into, but no harm, no foul, looks like. The ball bounces at the 25, then rolls past the 20, rolls to the 11-yard line. So a nice punt, barely got it away, and then a great roll at the end of it.
Looks like Jennings Grisham almost hit
So
him.
from the 38 to the 11-yard line, I'm going to say that's a 51-yard punt
That's
from the
Matt.
38 to the 11. 51-yard punt there by Hadawi. kind of the line drive, and then it rolls.
58.
Still trying to figure it
Yeah,
out.
I'm still going to stick with my 51, but it doesn't matter. It's 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 11. Titus steps back. He's going to be sacked, and the ball is loose. And now they're going to say Lamar got the ball at the 1 yard line.
Wow.
Ball on the ground.
So Titus was about to be sacked. He got hit,
Just
and looks like
rocked.
number 61. That's going to be Dalen Franklin, made the hit that jarred the ball loose, I believe.
Yeah, Franklin's been doing a great job all game. All of those defensive
And-
tackles right there.
So now Lamar has the ball. Now, if you're Coach DeLay, and you can just play this thing out by taking a couple of knees, knowing him, I think that's what he's going to do. No need and no benefit from putting more points on the board unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Saw him do this earlier in the season at a game.
Dowie to take the
It
snap.
looks like
Hadawi.
Hadawi's going to take the snap. It looks like we're going to take a knee. We got a running back
Yep.
about 15 yards back behind the line of
Kind of
scrimmage.
victory formation just to make
Yeah.
sure there's not a bad snap or something gets
Exactly.
jarred loose.
Yep. So
So
good job with the sportsmanship.
there is the snap.
Dowie takes the knee.
Hadawi takes the knee.
Clock is rolling.
52 seconds left. So, yeah, pretty clean game. 45 yards for Lamar.
Next
Penalties.
Thursday night, Lamar
We
takes
got
on
a
Morton
10-yard
Warriors.
holding, a 5-yard illegal
UGA Maverick
substitution, and
Stadium,
then
7 p.m.
a 15-yard.
Two 15-yard
Yeah.
unsportsmanlike. Hadawi takes another knee.
Dowie takes the knee.
And the game clock is down to 28 seconds, and they're not going to have to take another snap, and that's going to be the end of the game. The final score, Lamar 50, Paschal 0. Ryan, just a well-played game all the way around by the Vikings. Hey, look, the Panthers never gave up. They played tough all the way through. Some of their players, especially Bates, that quarterback and punter, and on kickoffs, he did a great job all the way through, as did their linemen.
Yeah.
Just overmatched by the Vikings, and there's nothing bad said about either team or anything about that.
No, it's
But a good, strong win, and Jay, that puts the Vikings definitely into the playoffs in lots of spots. So, welcome to the playoffs, Lamar Vikings. And of course, we'll have to wait until the next game against Martin and to see how it goes as far as who's in which place and big school, little school, as in Texas 6A football. 4 teams from each district make it into the playoffs. 2 largest teams go into what they call the big school division. The 2 smaller schools go into the smaller school division, and then we'll be playing someone from District 3 just over across the way. Some of the killer schools, I believe Abilene, Cooper, and Weatherford. I mean, Abilene High and Weatherford are in that district as well. So we'll just have to see.
Lamar's luck it'll be Abilene.
Yeah, well, actually, this year Abilene is not the Abilene of the past. They don't have a
Abilene
Joe.
Cooper and Abilene High, and I mean,
Abilene-
past couple
yeah.
years it's been Abilene and snow
Yep.
associated
We've
with
had
playoff
some
football.
We've had some rides on ice out there.
Yes.
But anyway, great game all the way around. Great coaching, clean play by the players, and just a great effort. So once again, to wrap it up, we've had some great help up in here in the booth. Tim doing our drive charts, Darren doing our spotting, Jay Ryan our producer. I'm Bill Frawley,
I'm Ryan DeMartelaire.
and we will say VFND. It's been a great season, and Joe Toronto, get well soon.